offering our collective salutations to the Almighty, revered elders, esteemed guests, devotees from around the world, staff and students. Welcome to the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival. In his essay titled The Holy Men of India, Carl Gustav Jung, the famous Swiss psychologist, writes, and I quote, "The carrier of mythological and philosophical wisdom in India has been since time immemorial the holy man. This figure is the embodiment of the spiritual India, and we meet him again and again all over the country. We see him in Ramakrishna, in Ramakrishna's disciples, and in innumerable other figures of the daily Indian scene. To get to know him, it is sufficient to read any Upanishad, for what is heard there is heard everywhere. It speaks through a million mouths, it expresses itself in countless gestures, and there is no village or country road where that broad branched tree cannot be found, in whose shade the ego struggles for its own abolition, drowning the world of multiplicity in the oneness of universal being." Unquote. As Carl Jung said, spirituality is the very life breath of India, and this morning, as a part of the Universal Wisdom for a United World lecture series, we are honored to welcome one such holy man through whom this ancient wisdom will express itself to us yet again. Swami Shantivratananda is a revered monk of the Ramakrishna order and the minister in charge of the Ramakrishna Vedanta Center, Dublin, Ireland. For over 2 decades, Swamiji has dedicated his life to spiritual service to the Ramakrishna Math centers in Bangalore and Mysore by guiding youth, promoting education, and spreading the timeless values of Indian philosophy. A distinguished scholar and orator, Swamiji holds a doctorate from the University of Mysore for his research on Swami Vivekananda's concept of man, and he has authored several acclaimed works on Vedanta, spirituality, and education. Having addressed thousands across the world, Swamiji continues to inspire students, professionals, and seekers through his enlightening talks on Vedanta and spirituality. Today, he will be addressing us online. We call upon Swami Shantivratananda, please.
Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukasvarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Sairam, good morning and Deepavali wishes from Dublin, Ireland. I'm very happy to participate in this One World, One Family International Cultural Festival. And also, I express my heartfelt thanks for all the organizers from the bottom of my heart for this grand event. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. Insights from the Vedanta, Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Sharda Devi, and Swami Vivekananda. Maha says, Ayam Nejah Paro Veti Gananam Laguchetasam Udara Charitanam Tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is mine, this is yours. Such thoughts belong to small minds. For the noble-hearted, the whole world is one family. Our Sanathana Dharma and Punya Bhumi Bharata has been shaped by this profound idea. Indian thought for centuries promoting inclusivity, empathy, global harmony is not found elsewhere, either in any other religions or in the countries or in the civilizations alike. So in modern times, Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Sharda Devi, and Swami Vivekananda have demonstrated their realizations through harmony of religions, compassion, and service to human being is service to God. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one world, one family. You might be hearing different perspectives, different aspects from the different world religions, as Chidambar was mentioning to me yesterday. So when yesterday, myself, I was thinking about this subject, one world, one family, or Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. According to me, this great idea indicates 5 important points. What are those? 1. The interconnectedness of life. 2nd, equal vision. 3rd is collective good. 4th is oneness of existence. And the 5th is spirit of service. Now, if you see, though in the Bhagavad Gita, there is no exact mention of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, but there are a lot of shlokas which have similar ideas. Sarva bhutastam atmanam sarva bhutani chatmani. The yogi sees the self, same self, present in all beings and in all beings in the self. This verse reflects the interconnectedness of all life. This is the core principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I have to love everyone. I have to help each other. I have to respect each other. Why? Because just it is not being, or because it is not human being. Rather, the same divinity, the same self exists in every person, in every being. So we have to adore and we have to love, we have to help each other. Equality and compassion. In Bhagavad Gita again, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunichaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. The wise see with equal vision a learned and a humble Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. So here the Bhagavad Gita is beautifully presenting the equal vision, which aligns with the idea of treating all beings as part of one family. Then the third component, selfless action. Sattah karmanya vidvamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvams tata saktaha chikirshu loka sangraham. As the ignorant work with attachment, so should be the wise act without attachment for the welfare of the world, the benefit of the world. The phrase Loka Sangraha emphasizes acting for the collective good, which is also a key tenet of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I am very well aware of our own activities, service activities of Ramakrishna Mission across the globe, and also I have heard quite a few incidents and well informed about Sathya Sai Baba Mission across the globe for their humanitarian activities. Oneness of existence. Vedanta asserts that there is no separation among the beings. As Swami Vivekananda says, each soul is potentially divine and unitary in nature. Recognizing the divinity in oneself and also in others leads to compassion and unity. Hence, Swami Vivekananda says, real worship is Shivagnane Jiva Seva. Vedanta encourages karuna and seva, compassion and service, not as charity, but as recognition of the self in others. Helping others, he is helping oneself, said Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda gave a clarion call. Seeing Shiva, serving Shiva, and serving others is the greatest worship in Rameshwaram temple premises. Here, the Advaitic truth and the Bhakti is well intertwined. The highest Advaita Vedanta is intertwined with the Bhakti here. Shivagnane Jiva Seva. Why we have to serve the others? It is not just like fellow human beings, rather, they are the living gods. Shiva is residing in every being, so serving them will be serving the Lord. That is the real worship. These are the 5 tenets of the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I thought when I was cogitating on this great idea, Upanishadic age-old idea, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one world, one family. When it comes to Sri Ramakrishna's realization as the harmony of religions, Swami Vivekananda describes his guru, the modern prophet of the present age, that is Sri Ramakrishna, as spiritual laboratory. Who is Sri Ramakrishna? He is spiritual laboratory. We have heard physics laboratory, chemistry laboratory, or biology laboratory. Of course, nowadays language laboratories have come, but it's a unique word which has been given by Swami Vivekananda to Sri Ramakrishna, spiritual laboratory. Why? Sri Ramakrishna made his life as a spiritual laboratory. He not only practiced one God or one path, all the intra-paths, whatever the Tantras, Shakta, Shaiva, Vaishnava, Bhakti schools, Tantra schools, whatever the sects, paths were there in Hinduism, he practiced all these paths and he reached the ultimate goal. And not only that, he also did sadhana of Islam and Christianity and he reached the goals. So at the end of his sadhana, of his intense sadhana, at the end, he said, Jato mat tato pat, means as many faiths, so many paths. Means each path, if we sincerely practice, it is capable for us to take to the God or ultimate truth. Of course, we should not mix here the political angle. Sri Ramakrishna has spoken from the spiritual angle. So, harmony of religions means, again, it does not mean that all religions are the same. However, all the religions are true. In what sense? It is true in the sense that all religions have a supersensuous state of existence as their goal. All religions have prescribed some methods by following which sincerely that particular superconscious state can be achieved. The validity was given by Sri Ramakrishna through his own sadhana and subsequent experiences. So it was not just mere intellectual thought or speculation, rather it is a matter of experience Sri Ramakrishna had. And the similar idea has been given by our Vedas thousands of years before. Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. The truth is one, the wise call by different names. And he gives a beautiful example, or rather a story has been connected with his life. Once there was a quarrel between the leaders of Hinduism, Islam, and Christianity. Then, when they approached Sri Ramakrishna for his saintly nature, and also they approached and asked, can you clear us who is great or what is right? Who is right? Sri Ramakrishna consoled them, and Sri Ramakrishna made them to say it, and he gave an example, or he started discussing with them, conversing with them. Look, there is a pond near Dakshineshwar, and that pond has got 3 or 4 ways to reach it. Are you aware? All of them nodded their heads. Then he asked a Hindu, when you go and fetch a water, what do you say? He said, I am fetching the water called Ganga. He said, well, then he asked Muslim, you might go in a different path because there are 3 or 4 paths for pond. When you go and fetch the water, for a Muslim, he asked, what do you address? How do you address the water? He said, Pani. Then he said, fine. Then he also inquired the Christian, if you go to pond, if you fetch the water, how do you address it? He said, just water. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, exactly. All the 3 are going to the same pond, and fetching the same water, but someone is calling as Ganga, someone else is calling as Pani, and someone else is calling as water. But you are fetching the same object or same substance. Similarly, God is one, we are calling by different names. Maybe Rama, Krishna, Yesu, Allah, Jehovah, and whatnot. If so, then why should we quarrel? We should understand each other, we should accept each other, and we should live together. So when this message was given by Sri Ramakrishna to the religious leaders, they understood and they asked pardon, and they appreciated the simple message, simple and profound message, and they left. And if this is practiced in our day-to-day life between the religions, among the religions, either intra-religions or inter-religions, or and between the countries and between the civilizations, lot of bloodshed and the war can be minimized and the peace can be established. The amount of money we spend on unnecessary and the warfare can be spent on the progress of humanity and taking care of the society and civilization. And he had a universal vision also. He was able to see the God, our Divine Mother Kali, from the prostitute to the priest, from the temple image to the living being. Hence, he transcended all the barriers of caste, creed, and gender. He accepted everyone, whoever comes sincerely in search of God. So sometimes there are drunkards, prostitutes, or the rich people, good people, wicked people. But Sri Ramakrishna showed his mercy on all of them and he uplifted them towards the divinity. The similar, if Sri Ramakrishna realized the harmony of religions, the Holy Mother embodied the harmony of hearts actually. We can see in the Holy Mother's message, the greatest Advaitic truth has been put in a simple words. So she represents universal motherhood and compassion. Her final state teaching among them, the part of it is, no one is a stranger, my child. The whole world is your own. What a beautiful, profound statement. No one is a stranger, my child. The whole world is your own. How it can be? Because in the present day in the cities, the next neighbor, we don't know who is he and who is she. Then Holy Mother is saying, no one is stranger, my child. The whole world is your own. From what aspect? From which angle? Because the same divinity or the same substance is residing in every being. So when we address every being with out of respect, love, concern, each person, each being will react, will respond. From that angle, Holy Mother is saying. So, Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. As Isha Upanishad says, whatever exists in the world, small or big, sentient or insentient, cover everything with the Isha, the Lord. Means what? Lord and Lord alone exists. Consciousness and consciousness alone exists in this universe. We should only see it, we should only experience it. And Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi, though she is a village woman in the present day language, she was an illiterate woman, uneducated woman, but she experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi and she practiced the highest Advaita Vedantic truth. And not only that, she was the greatest Karma Yogi. She used to do the work very fast, but very systematically, consistently, and not only that, in very pleasant way. As a result, she was able to cater the needs of the people across the globe, also I can say. How she treated everyone, rich, poor, Indian, foreigner, as their own child. Now we might see foreigners and we might like, but in those days, in the Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi's time, she is coming from the village background, from the traditional Brahmin family. So talking with the foreigners was considered not right. They are all mlechas. But still, Holy Mother welcomed everyone. All the children, whomever they address her as a mother, They were not her biological children, but they were spiritual in nature. So it reminds me to narrate a story of a college student. A college student approached Holy Mother Sharda Devi and he received Mantra Diksha spiritual initiation. Once in a while, during his free time, he used to visit Udbodhan, the mother's house where Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi used to live in Calcutta. And he used to, once in a while, he used to visit the Holy Mother's house and used to receive the blessings of Holy Mother. Unfortunately, during his college days, he went to the bad friends group. As a result, he developed bad habits. After a few days, he came to senses. I have been victimized from this bad company and also have learned bad habits. And unfortunately, it became so strong in him, he felt that he's unable to leave the bad habits, he's unable to give away the bad habits. He was feeling guilty, but still he continued. He was victimized with his bad habits. After a few days, he thought, I'm sinning, I'm doing the mistake, I should not go to Holy Mother again because I'm doing wrong. Then he stopped going to Holy Mother, visiting Holy Mother. After again few days, he remembered Holy Mother Sharda Devi's love. And he also felt one more guilty that I am not visiting Holy Mother. She might be concerned. She might be worrying about my absence or not going. Then he thought, I'm doing already a lot of mistakes, lot of blunders by not going and not informing mother. I will be added blunders, added sin. So I shall go to Holy Mother Sharda Devi and inform that I'm not going to come or I'm not going to visit Udbodhan, Holy Mother's house henceforth. So please don't wait for me. Don't think about me. He thought, young chap with hot blood, with a wrong, misguided intellect. He went to the Holy Mother's house. He never waited for the Holy Mother's reaction. Just he made pranam probably from distance and he said, Mother, I am not going to come from today. So please don't expect for me and don't think or worry about me. He said, and just he turned around and he started coming down. And she is the mother of wicked, saint, and sinner alike. How she can stay that? She, known for her bashful nature, Lajjapatavruta Swarupini she was. She was known for her bashful nature, but still, this young chap, before coming down from the steps from the second floor, Holy Mother Sharda Devi, in her 70s, she came and she holded in no time his collar. And this young chap, this young boy, he was never aware of all these things. He got furious. Who is holding my collar from my back? And he turned furiously, turned around. And for his astonishment, he saw the Holy Mother Sharda Devi face to face with proximity. Her face and her beautiful eyes left the print in his mind. It was such a great vision. He had never seen Holy Mother Sharda Devi from at such a close distance. She only said, my dear son, when you are in difficulty, just think I have a mother. So when you are in difficulty, just think I have a mother. This is the one statement she made and she left. She didn't ask, what happened to you? Why are you not going to come? And she didn't give any sermon. She didn't give any pep talk. Just she made the statement and she left. And he was also astonished, amazed, and he left to his house. Then after some time, because of his habit, again a thought came to do the bad actions. When he was about to perform, immediately Holy Mother's face came in front of him. And it was so powerful, he felt ashamed and he couldn't do the sin, he couldn't do the mistake. Time and again, after few days or after few months, time and again, whenever the thought of doing a wrong thing came, Holy Mother's face started coming and he was bound to leave away. He was bound to give away that bad habit, and finally he became a good person and he became a saintly person. And she gave a simple Maha Mantra. When you are in distress, just say that, just remember that you have a mother or I have a mother. This is the great Maha Mantra she gave to all of us. I mean, for a young boy, and this is being followed, or this can be followed or accepted by every one of us. Even today, so many devotees, monks, whoever sincerely prays for her, they are able to see her presence, they are able to experience her presence, and they are being taken care by her love and care. And Amjad, again, he was a Muslim thief. And Swami Shardananda, he was an apostle of Sri Ramakrishna, a monastic apostle. She said, for me, both are one and the same. When this was heard from few people, they were startled. How? Swami Shardananji is a Brahmagnani and is a monastic disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He led the pure life and is well educated and whatnot, and is the first general secretary of this international Ramakrishna Mutton mission. Whereas this Amjad is a poor person and is a Muslim, and not only that, he was a thief and he went to jail even for a few times. And Holy Mother Sharda Devi says, for me, both are one and the same. Shunichaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. We hear, and that's what we can see. And not only that, her love was extended not only for the human beings, even for the animals. The Maina bird was there in the village Jairambati, in Holy Mother's birthplace. And by the sound of the bird, Holy Mother Sharda Devi used to understand what the bird needs, and she used to take care. And also, she used to take care of the cat and so many other things. Animals, birds, cats, I mean, like pet animals, and any other animals, and the human beings alike. And everyone enjoyed, everyone were based by her love. So much so that people were unable to forget her love, and it just like a magnet attracts the iron, the beings were attracted by her love or by her universal motherhood. And very interestingly, once a monk asked Holy Mother Sharda Devi, dear mother, how do you look at us, look upon us? In what sense you look us? Probably had anticipated, I am your mother, you are my son, but spiritual son. In that perspectives, Holy Mother might reply. That was the expectation from a monk. But astonishingly, Holy Mother said, my dear son, I look all of you as the embodiment of, very early manifestation of Lord Narayana. I see Narayana in every one of you, and I love you and I serve you. What again great profound statement. A mother is saying to a son, saying that I see all of you as Narayana. This is very rare indeed in the history of the religion or the spirituality. And like this, I can go on giving so many examples where universal motherhood of Sri Sharda Devi has seen. Probably I would like to tell one simple story, and I will go to the next topic. Before that, Sister Nivedita, Sister Kristen, Ole Bull, Josephine MacLeod, these are the few women devotees who came from America and Europe, especially London. Our Sister Nivedita is Irish lady. When they went, when Swami Vivekananda took all of them and to receive the blessings of Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda himself had a doubt. Holy Mother comes from a traditional village background, and these are all foreign ladies, foreign girls or foreign women. How Holy Mother accepts her and how Holy Mother treats all of them. Swami Vivekananda himself had a feeling or a doubt or a concern. But for his astonishment, when they went to Holy Mother Sharda Devi, Holy Mother Sharda Devi welcomed all of them as just as her children. Not only that, on the same mat where Holy Mother Sharda Devi was sitting, she called all of them to sit on the same mat and touching their chin. In the Bengal culture, when they see first the children, they touch the chin and they show the affection and they speak. The same culture was also extended by Holy Mother Sharda Devi for all these foreign devotees, and with love and care she spoke. And she never knew any other language other than Bengali. And they didn't know anything else, any Indian language. So they spoke in English and Holy Mother spoke in Bengali language. But interestingly, both of them understood each other, and they were able to communicate. This shows our universal motherhood. There, the language is not the barrier because the hearts were interconnected. And we can also see Swami Vivekananda's vision of spiritual humanism. The same idea also we can see in the humanism of or humanistic philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda says, "They alone live who live for others, rest are dead more than alive." Swami Vivekananda had written one of the letter to the Mysore Maharaja. In that, there's an excerpt. "They alone live who live for others, rest are dead more than alive." Elsewhere he says, "Unselfishness is more paying, but people do not have patience to practice." Such profound statements is not just as a part of charitable activities. He didn't speak. Rather, he spoke on based on Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy. Why? Each soul is potentially divine and unitary in nature. The goal is to manifest this internal nature either by work or by knowledge or by love or by meditation, psychic control. Do either by one or two or all of this. This is the essence of religion. This is the core message of Swami Vivekananda. So true religion is to manifest this divinity through service, through love, and through knowledge. Hence, he says, the Christian is not to become a Hindu or a Buddhist, nor a Hindu or a Buddhist to become a Christian, but each must assimilate the spirit of the others and yet preserve his individuality and grow according to his own law of growth. And Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism is based on practical Vedanta. In the practical Vedanta is what? The best way to serve God is to serve human being or to serve man. And he also advocated education, equality, women's upliftment, and harmony among the countries or among the beings through his practical Vedanta. He saw the divine in the every man. That's the reason he said, Daridra Devo Bhava, Papi Devo Bhava, means let the poor people be my God. Let the sinners be my God. Let the deceased be my God. So we shall not throw them, we shall not neglect them as their fate, as their karma phala. If it is so, Swami Vivekananda says beautifully, it is my karma phala, it is my fate to look after them. Otherwise, I will be a traitor, Swami Vivekananda says. So his concept of spiritual humanism is based on Advaitic Vedantic truth, oneness in among all the beings, or Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Though we cannot say that Swami Vivekananda's humanism or his teachings had a name called humanism or humanistic philosophy, but he didn't care for any labels or ideal catchy words or etc. But his language was that, because he wrote very clearly, I will never Hinduize my message nor Christianize, nor make any eyes in the world. I will only my eyes it, and that's all. Means my eyes is humanism, calling it among other things. That is a man-making religion, he said. For him, humanism is man-making religion. So man-making means it is not any book, it is not any dogma, nor any theory. He said, I mean the man who has realized, who has fully perceived something of that infinite presence in his own art and where he can manifest in his actions. But if you see the humanism, it is from the 15th century Italian term humanista, which was used to designate a teacher or a student of classic literature. There it started from the Renaissance, and the man became the center of the philosophy from the God or from the theology. And Immanuel Kant says, so act that you use humanity whether in your own person or in the person of any other, always at the same time as an end, never merely as a means, unquote. So Swami Vivekananda's humanism was very unique actually. Why? Because there was a synthesis of sacred and also secular. According to him, religion or spirituality is not the separate pursuit from the humdrum of life. Rather, it covers the entire life. The way man looks at himself, his conception of his own nature, gowns all his other concepts. How I look, that is the philosophy of my life, according to Swami Vivekananda. So the value of the reorientation of man's view of himself extends from value to the individuals in the development of his character to the humanity as a whole. Hence, he tells very clearly. His disciple, so Sister Nivedita, who again from Ireland, in her introduction to complete works of Swami Vivekananda, she beautifully quoting Swami Vivekananda's message, she says, "No distinction henceforth between sacred and secular. To labor is to pray." Again, I repeat it, to labor is to pray. To conquer is to renounce. Life is itself religion. To have and to hold is a stern, a trust as to quit and to avoid. This is the realization which makes Vivekananda the great preacher of karma, not as diverged from, but as expressing jnana and bhakti. To him, the workshop, the study, the format, and the field are as true and fit scenes for the meeting of God, which man as the cell of the monk or the door of the temple. So, Swami Vivekananda's humanism is based on spiritual illumination derived from Vedantic insights, as I already told. So basically, the divinity of the soul is the core principle of Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism. If it can be understood, if it can be understood, and if it can put into practice, there will be a harmonious growth in individual, among the families, among the country, our civilizations, and the world at large. And not only that, either in the science, or in the religion, or in the spirituality, philosophy, any field of life, any field of knowledge can be harmoniously grown, developed by introducing and accepting, adopting Swami Vivekananda's spiritual humanism. So one earth, one family, one future. So all the modern challenges like wars, climate crises, discrimination among the people, all these things can be easily handled at the best by the great idea Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which also offers the spiritual foundation for global cooperation, ecological responsibility, interreligious or intra-religious harmony. So India's G20 motto also reflects this eternal vision. So when we see the self in all beings and all beings in the self, the world truly becomes our family. May Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Sharda Devi, Swami Vivekananda bless all of us and guide us in this path. This is my prayers. And I convey my heartfelt thanks for all of you to give this wonderful opportunity and for patient hearing. Thank you, Jai Ram Krishna.
Thank you, Swamiji, for sharing your wisdom with us this morning. We hope that you would bless us with your presence in Sathya Sai Grama very soon and inspire all of us. With that, we conclude this session. We will now have a short break and reconvene for Satya Darpan.
हे गणनाथ गजानना, हे गणनाथ गजानना, हे गणनाथ गजानना, हे गणनाथ गजानना, हे रंबा गजानना, हे रंबा गजानना, हे गणनाथ गजानना, गौरी नंदन गजानना, गजानना, हे गजानना, गौरी नंदन गजानना, गजानना, हे गजानना, सिद्धि विनायक गजानना, सिद्धि विनायक गजानना, हे सिद्धि विनायक गजानना, हे सिद्धि विनायक गजानना, हे गणनाथ गजानना, हे गणनाथ गजानना, हे रंबा गजानना, हे रंबा गजानना, हे गणनाथ गजानना, गौरी नंदन गजानना, गजानना, हे गजानना, नंदन गजानना, गजानना, हे गजानना, सिद्धि विनायक गजानना, सिद्धि विनायक गजानना, हे सिद्धि विनायक गजानना, सिद्धि विनायक गजानना, हे गणनाथ गजानना. पांडुरंग विठ्ठले हरिनारायण, हरिनारायण गोविंदा, पांडुरंग विठ्ठले हरिनारायण, हरिनारायण गोविंदा, पांडुरंग विठ्ठले हरिनारायण, साई नारायण गोविंदा पांडुरंग विठ्ठले हरि 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 नारायण गोविंदा हरि नारायण गोविंदा साई नारायण गोविंदा पांडुरंग विठ्ठले हरि नारायण गोविंदा साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम मेरे साई मेरे बाबा मेरे प्राणनाथ राम मेरे बाबा मेरे प्राणनाथ मेरे साई मेरे बाबा मेरे प्राणनाथ साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम साई राम साई श्याम मेरे साई राम तेरे द्वार पे मैं आऊं मुझे शांति दो भगवान मुझे शांति दो भगवान मुझे शांति दो भगवान श्याम मेरे साईं राम। साईं राम साईं श्याम मेरे साईं राम। मेरे साईं मेरे बाबा मेरे प्राणनाथ राम। मेरे बाबा मेरे प्राणनाथ राम। साईं राम साईं श्याम मेरे साईं राम। साईं राम साईं श्याम तेरे द्वार पे मैं आऊं, मुझे शांति दो भगवान। द्वार पे मैं आऊं, मुझे शांति दो भगवान। मुझे शांति दो भगवान। मेरे जीवन में साथ रहो साईनाथ हे। मेरे जीवन में साथ रहो साईनाथ। मेरे जीवन में साथ रहो साईनाथ हे। साईं राम साईं श्याम मेरे साईं राम।
Offering our collective salutations at the lotus feet of our beloved Sadhguru, respected elders, devotees from around the world, staff and students, good morning and welcome to Satya Darpan. In his discourse yesterday morning, Sadhguru began by saying that in this world, one cannot escape the performance of action, and the only way to ensure that these actions do not bind us is by getting rid of ego and the sense of doership. They can be overcome when one is established in the state of Brahmasthiti. Sadhguru quoted the poem If by Rudyard Kipling to emphasize that mere intellectual knowledge is of no use, as we must learn how to apply this knowledge practically for it to truly make an impact in our lives. In the 5th shloka of the 13th chapter, Janaka exclaims, Artha nartau name sthitya, gatya nashayanena va, tishtan gachan swapan tasmad, ahamase yatha sukham. While elucidating this shloka, Sadhguru said that a jnani, whether he's standing, moving or sleeping, is beyond the ideas of action and inaction, of gain and loss, and is ever absorbed in the bliss of the self. He described that this state can be attained by practicing Asparsha Yoga, which is outlined in the Mandukya Karika by Gaudapada. It means to remain untouched by all that happens around us while still engaging in action. Concluding the 13th chapter, Sadhguru explained that while many people pray to God to remove their problems, a true devotee is the one who asks for the strength to face these problems. He said that his role as our Guru is to grant us the maturity to go through all the experiences of life and accept everything as the will of the divine. We now pray to Sadhguru to bless us all with his divine discourse.
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
This name Satya Darpan to these conversations is quite a nice name, because Satya means truth and Darpana means mirror. So it is the mirror of truth where you look into and realize the truth of who you are. So when you look into this mirror of truth, you don't see yourself as the body and the mind, but you see yourself as the very self, the supreme principle of consciousness beyond the body and the mind. So this mirror should be able to show you that. And if you're seeing anything else in this mirror, then either there is a problem with you or with the mirror. What can be the problem with the mirror? 3 problems they say. Mala, Vikshepa and Avarana. Mala means impurity. Vikshepa means unsteadiness. And Avarana means cover of an illusion. So these 3 are the reasons why we can't see the truth as it is. Suppose a mirror is dirty, dusty. It can't reflect. It can't show you your face, your image. Or if the mirror is shaky, it's not steady, even then you can't see the image. Or if the mirror is covered with a veil, a cloth, even then it cannot reflect your image back to you. So our scriptures call these 3 as doshas, 3 of these problems, faults, which are mala, vikshepa and avarana. When the mind is impure, full of desires and attachments, full of worldly ideas and thoughts, that is mala, that is the impurity of the mind, which is the reason why truth is not seen in the mind. The second thing is vikshepa, when the mind is not steady because of desires. It is chasing one desire after the other, even then the mind is unable to understand or comprehend these great truths because it is too restless. And avarna is, if it is covered by a veil, even then you can't see your face. And this avarna is this wrong understanding, wrong knowledge. So if you have wrong knowledge, if you have unsteadiness of mind, and if you have impurity of mind, you cannot find the truth, even in all these lectures. So the prerequisite to understand the truth is to prepare your mind. As I said, all these are just preparations. Reaching a place is different from being on the way to that place. So these are all efforts that we make to keep walking on this path, to purify our mind by purging it of negative and selfish thoughts, to steady our mind by reducing our desires and developing focus, and to not have wrong knowledge, which is that we are the body, we are the senses. Beyond that, we exist as the Supreme Self. That understanding is uncovering the mirror. So these three things are required before we can even understand the truth. As I said, theoretically it is okay to understand. We speak in a language, the language is comprehensible. Everybody understands theoretically this is what it is. But to understand it in the essence, tattvataha, complete essence of it, one has to realize the truth. One has to be the truth. And this chapter which is starting now, it's all about being the truth again. The ways of the jnani. So when you have to know whether you are really becoming a jnani or still there is ajnana in you, how do you know? You check yourself against these shlokas. These shlokas are the gold standards. And against that you check where is your journey, where you are. What is that you are experiencing? How close your experience is to the experience of the shlokas or what is mentioned in these shlokas. Oh, these gregarious birds have gotten inside the auditorium. These are called seven sisters. You know these birds? Oh, these are called seven sisters. I think they've lost 4 or 5 somewhere. But they always come in group of 7 and make so much noise because they come in Premdeep also. When I used to live in Premdeep, every morning I like to have tea and some snacks. So I'll come to the balcony and sit there to have a tea and a little toast. And they will just get to know that I'm sitting outside. I don't know where they find out and they all come. And 1 or 2 of them I think by mistake, but they are so noisy. They're like our high school. It's full, it's all the time talking. See, they won't let me teach anything today. They're the noisy birds. We have to find a way to let them. There's one more here. We have to find a way to let them out. Because they are always noisy. They won't keep quiet. As long as they are awake, they keep saying something. So as I mentioned, the Janaka is experiencing that amazing state of the self. And he is going on expressing that state to Ashtavakra. Like when we are very happy, we want to express our joy and happiness to somebody whom we are close to. We want to share our joy. Similarly, when we are unhappy also, we want to share our sorrows with those who were close to us. Now, Ashtavakra has given him the great boon and blessing of realizing the truth. As he is in that same body, not in some faraway forest, in a hermitage or living a life of a monk or a renunciate, and then realizing the truth. No, right in his very court where he has been sitting and ruling the kingdom from, he is at the feet of Ashtavakra. And as he is listening to him, the Uttamadhikari that he is, the amazing disciple, a student, he is immediately able to grasp and experience that. So as I said, the next few shlokas are also going to be Janaka's exclamations and joy and his description of that state in which he is. And why it is important? Because these are the milestones on our journey. These are the standards that we must find or compare with and know where we are in our journey. So that is the idea. So the first shloka is again Janaka speaking. He says, Janaka uvacha prakritya shunya chitto yaha pramadat bhava bhavanaha nidrito bodhita iva kshina samsmarano hi saha. Very beautiful idea that is being explained over here. He says, Prakritya Shunya Chitto Yaha. By nature, he is Shunya Chitta, means his mind is zero mind. There is no thoughts in his mind. It is empty mind. It exists. Mind exists. But it exists without any thoughts and ideas and emotions and desires. No sankalpa vikalpa. Mind lives on these two things, sankalpa and vikalpa. Sankalpa is a thought, a desire, and vikalpa are the choices that that the mind keeps thinking of. Is this good? Is this not good? Is this better? Is that lesser? Continuously it keeps swinging between one idea and the other, the choices and the thought itself, the desire itself. So these are the reasons why mind is always unsteady. Just now I mentioned the mirror. If it's unsteady, it cannot fathom or it cannot reflect the image. Like that, the mind which has become shunya chitta, he says, my mind has become a zero mind. I have no thoughts, no desires, no ideas, no choices, no sankalpa, no vikalpa. I am absolutely in steady state of peace. How does that mind look? The mind is similar to the mind of a person who is in deep sleep. Though while he is awake, he has hundreds of thoughts running in his head, thousands actually. But the moment you go to deep sleep, what happens? It's not that your mind is no more existence. It is there, but it has become empty of itself. So it does not have any thoughts going on. If you have any thoughts running in your mind, can you sleep? You cannot. Even in dream, what is happening? Our subconscious mind is active. The deeper mind, where the hidden thoughts are there, deep desires are there, which we do not speak of in the waking state. But they start manifesting in our dream. And those desires, those ideas, those wants, those unfulfilled wishes, aspirations, they start coming up as dreams in our mind. So till the dream state also, you can clearly see the mind is active, though lesser active than what it is in the waking state, because the physically not active. It doesn't force the body to physically act. But mentally you are still imagining, seeing, visualizing, experiencing, all that is happening. But in the deep state of sleep, the mind becomes empty, as if it has merged off into the spirit. And you have no idea who you are, how long you have slept, what is your age, are you a man or a woman, are you rich or poor. None of these ideas exist. So that is shunya chittaha. Imagine being awake and still being in that state. It's almost impossible, it seems impossible. But Janaka says that right now I am like that. There is something in me which is aware that I am awake right now and I am dealing with you. But there are no thoughts in my mind per se. Then who is speaking all these things? It's happening for him. He doesn't feel that it is he who is thinking and speaking and explaining. It is a spontaneity of his existence that is now expressing itself. That is a very beautiful state. As I said, what is the way you know that you have slept very deeply? You have no memory of it when you wake up. You don't even realize. You think you just slept for 10 minutes, it's 6 hours. And then you have no memory of that. When you have dreams, you have memory that you went to sleep and you went and saw a dream, and in that dream so many good and bad things happen. When you wake up, you can explain. Howsoever, unclear it might be. Yet you have some memory of it. But when you are in deep sleep state, you have no memory of sleeping. Only when you wake up, you see the watch and you realize, oh, it's been so long that I've been sleeping, I didn't realize at all. That is the idea. He says that things are happening for me. I am not doing it, nor I have any idea or memory of doing it. The other day I explained the difference between you doing it versus it's being done through you is, while you are the doer, you have memory of it. When you are just an instrument and it's being done through you, you have no memory of it. Very, very, very frail memory of it, not real memory. You don't remember the details, you don't remember exact things. Somebody may say, oh, he is a forgetful person. No, he is not forgetful. He remembers every other thing whenever he is the doer. But when he is not the doer, as if it was done by somebody else and not him, that kind of distance or detachment exists. And the memory of it, which makes us live in misery or in joy, in agony of what we did wrong or in ecstasy of what we did right, both do not occur to him, because he has no memory of it. That is the idea in which Janaka says, Shunya Chittaha. In our scripture, it's called Amani Bhavaha. It says, Manuso yat Amani Bhavaha Dvaitam Tasya na Labhyate, it says. Dvaitam na Uplabhyate, it is said. When Manas, the mind, reaches the state of Amani, no mind. No mind means no thoughts. What is a mind after all? Bhagavan used to explain very nicely. I told Sankalpa Vikalpa is the way of the mind. So you will take a kerchief and say in this kerchief there are threads. And the threads are woven, perpendicularly and horizontally. So once all the threads are woven, there is a cloth. But what is the way to get rid of the cloth? Thread by thread, you disintegrate it. If there are no threads interwoven, where is the cloth? Likewise, Sankalpa and Vikalpa are the thoughts which are running perpendicular and horizontally in the weave. And then, because of them intertwined, interweaved, interwoven, it appears to be a cloth. But cloth is just a collection of threads. Likewise, mind is just collection of thoughts. So when all thoughts are gone, where is the mind is the question. There is no mind. That is the Amani Bhava, that is the Shunya Chitta. Like a thought can, like the cloth can disappear if the threads are removed, like that a mind can disappear if all the thoughts are removed. You understand the logic, how it works? So he says such a state is possible and I am in that state. My nature now is Shunya Chittaha. I am free from all the thoughts. I am aware that I am existing. But I am not identifying myself as Janaka with the body and wife and 4 children and a kingdom. That is not no more my identification. I am free of all identifications. I am pure existence right now, Asti. I am in the Asti state. Asti Bhati Priyam we heard. I am in the Asti state. I am, that's all. And somebody asked Bhagavan, we were making an album. And the name of the album was I Am I. Like Shankaracharya said, Aham Evaham Avyayaha. I am I. I am not, so this I is not smaller than this or bigger than this or of a different quality, nature, size, shape. No, it's exactly the same. Who are you? I am I. There is no other way to explain who I am. Existence is equal to existence. Asti is equal to Asti. It's a very deep thought. So we made a cover for that. In that, Bhagavan only sitting on the chair and Bhagavan only standing next to him. Like generally you take a picture of a couple or a pair, you'll see wife sitting on the chair, husband standing by the side stylishly. Like that, Bhagavan only standing next to himself. And the album's name was I Am I. It was a music album. So I learned the first concept of I Am I there. I asked, what does it mean, I Am I? They say, I Am I means there is no other explanation who you are. You are that. So that also is you and that. So there are two things. Your Jiva and Paramatma, you are trying to become Paramatma. There is a separation over there, howsoever subtle. But I Am I has no separation. I is equal to I, that is the equation. So this is what was the idea, and that is what he is saying. I have become free of thoughts, sankalpa, vikalpa. I have become one with that my true self. And I know it, I feel it, I experience it. And how do you know it? By experience it. There is no other way to know it. I will say, how do you know you are alive? By being alive, you know you are alive. If you are not alive, how can you be knowing that you are alive? Likewise, by being that only you know that. There is no other way of our spirituality. Everything else that is known as other than that is not true. It is mind only. It is equal to itself. That is the idea. Whether you are man or woman does not matter. In that I, everything becomes one. That existence, that awareness, that supreme consciousness, whichever way you call it, the prajnana, that is our true nature. And the moment mind comes, it deviates from that true nature. So when somebody says, I want to realize God, please bless me. Ramana Maharshi said, who wants to realize God? I want to realize God. Who is that I which wants to realize God? Find that out. Who am I? Who am I? Because wanting to realize God means there are two things. I am so and so, and I want to realize such and such thing. Something other than me is what I am aiming for. But our scripture says there is nothing other. The other is an illusion because of the mind. Mind that has thoughts, wrong identification and impurities like the mirror. So it does not give you real picture. It gives you some illusory picture of yourself. If you stand in front of a mirror which is covered with a cloth, howsoever thin, can you see your true reflection? No, you can imagine it to be somebody else. Or if there is dirt on the mirror, you can't see your reflection, you can only see patches and pieces. Can you ever understand who you are completely? Or if the mirror is continuously shaky, wobbly, you can't see your reflection. There's this magic mirror shows are there in many jatres. They put all kinds of convex, concave and mirrors which don't have good fidelity. You go there, you suddenly look very fat, stout, long, tall, short. That's for fun. So such kind of mirror will never give you the truth. A mind which is full of thoughts can never give you the true picture of who you are. That's why yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. Till mind exists, you cannot achieve it. Only on the disappearance of the mind, which is disappearance of the thoughts, like the disappearance of the cloth with the disappearance of the threads. When such a state occurs to you, then you really know you are you only, I am I only. Can we ever reach that state with no thoughts? Imagine 1 second you sit, one thought is running. Even when you are meditating, who is meditating? Ravana Maharshi will ask. Who is meditating? I am meditating. On what? On the self. Oh, you are different from the self then, isn't it? Because there is a meditator and there is something being meditated on. And there is a process of meditation. But none of these exist. Remember, jnanam gyayam tatha jnata tritayam naasti vastavam. In reality, the knower, knowledge and the known, these three things don't exist. Everything becomes one. If in the world you want to know something, there will be thing to be known, like I need to know this tumbler, what is its composition, what is it made of, what is its size, volume and so on. This to be known. Who is the knower? I am the knower. I need to know. And what is the process? Through analysis, observation and whatever other things. I apply a method. Three things happen for us to understand anything of the world. But to understand the self, none of these required. You just have to become that, only then you know the self. So how do you become that is the question. The only thing between you and yourself, the realization of that is mind. Mind, which is bundle of thoughts, has to be pure and free from all the thoughts. Actually, once no thoughts are there, where is the purity, impurity? Purity of thoughts or impurity of thoughts don't exist when there are no thoughts at all, right? So how do you reach a state of no thought, thoughtlessness, zero mind or no mind, amani bhava? There is a process. And the process is reduce thoughts first. We have what we call as thread counts in bed sheets and other things. More thread counts means there are more threads very closely interwoven. The quality of cloth is good, there are no gaps, no holes, no spaces, but good quality we think. And bad thread count means it is very loosely woven. There are gaps, you pull this way or that way, one hole will form inside the cloth. Cheap clothing comes like that. So when we go, we asked what is the thread count to know whether it is a good quality of weaving or bad quality weaving and things like that. Based on that, we decide to buy or not. Thread count is basically number of threads that are passing through a per inch of cloth or whichever way, or per square meter of cloth. So if you have lesser thread counts, it's faster, it's easier to disintegrate it off. If you have very closely woven, tightly knit cloth, then it's difficult to disintegrate it. So that is the idea. Lesser thoughts, faster you will be able to disintegrate the mind and reach the Amani Bhava. So keep minimal thoughts in your mind. Keep minimal. So many thoughts, unnecessary. What are the thoughts we carry in our head, you tell? Thoughts of the past, which are not necessary right now. But we are carrying it nevertheless. These are some of the threads that is adding to the total thread count. Then what are the thoughts? Present thoughts are there which are needed to run the show, do your work, do your part. Okay. And then unnecessary future thoughts are there of worries, anxieties and uncertainties, fears. They are another set of thread counts. So which threads you can get rid of, you tell me easily. The future threads you can get rid of. What's the point in going and worrying about the future, which you have no idea what will happen tomorrow? Who knows what happens tomorrow? What are the thread counts of the past? Oh, I did this, I did that, went right, this went wrong. I am guilty of that, I am happy about that. Get rid of those thread counts. Already your thread counts have come down. Your cloth has become loose. Easy to get rid of it. In present also, keep the thoughts only for that moment when you need to act. That is the first step. Reduce your ideas, desires, ambitions, wants. Slowly, your mind becomes lesser and lesser difficult to get rid of. Like somebody who has so many worries, anxieties, they don't sleep at all. They keep writing to me, Swamiji, I am not getting sleep. I said, why, what happened? You don't have a bed, you don't have a room, what is the problem? He said, no, I sleep, I have a good bed, I have a very air-conditioned room, everything is okay, but I'm not getting sleep. That is because you're thinking. What are you thinking? I don't want to think, but thoughts are coming to me. Where are they coming from? Oh my, 10 years back in one place this happened, they said such things to me, till date it is hurting. Then 10 years future, what will be my future, whether I'll retire in peace, whether I'll be sick, whether I'll be in hospital, whether my children will be nice to me. For all that you're losing the sleep today. People are like that, they're right. So thoughts are the reason why we are not at peace. Simple example, if you don't get good sleep, it's because your mind is active. Continuously something is running in your head. That's why you're not sleeping. The moment all the thoughts disappear, what happens? Slowly, gradually you slip into that state of sleep, deep sleep. That is very, very important. Because if you don't get rid of your thoughts, you can't even sleep. Forget about realizing the self. So it is such an important activity to reduce and finally remove all the thoughts from your head. Then how do I function? Whatever inspiration comes from within, work on that. And you shall have no memory of it. You shall not be the initiator of that thought. You shall not be the executor of that thought. You shall not be the enjoyer of that thought. It will come and go as if wind came from this window and went from the other window. For a moment it was there, but you can't capture it, hold it and cling on to it. That's not possible. Like that, allow it to freely flow. Let it pass. Don't hold on to anything. So how these jnanis live, don't you? They have thought, they have thoughts, but not of their own. So where are the thoughts coming from? Divinely inspired. How long does the thought remain? As long as it is meant to be. What is the reaction of these people to the thought? Nothing. That is how jnanis think. Means they don't think basically. It just happens to them. Does such a state come, exist, happens? As I said, the closest example in deep sleep. Your body is functioning, breathing is going on, heart is beating, digestion is happening. Everything is going on. You didn't do any of it. You didn't think about any of it. It happens. Something is running the show. Similarly, there are states, as I said, sometimes I tell you give a speech. After the speech, the student comes and tells me, Swami, I don't know, I don't remember what I spoke and how did I speak. I have no idea of it. Sometimes they sing very well, they come and say, I have no memory of what I sang. I read in one of the biography that Narasimhamurthy has written from Satyam Shivam Sudha, where he interviews Mandolin Srinivas. And Srinivas, he asks, how do you improvise? He says, I have no memory of it. It just happens. I don't plan. I will have some plan to, okay, I'll perform this raga, that's it. Those improvisations are not planned. And that is why it is difficult to, as I said, repeat or golden words cannot be repeated or something it is said. Because they haven't come from their mouth. They have come from a divine source. And so it is difficult to repeat them. Because they happen only once, whenever the divine wills. So those who live like that, whose words are golden, whose thoughts are golden, because they are coming from the divine source, they have no memory of it, they have no attachment to it, nor any clinging on to it. Or why can't it happen once more? It won't. It's supposed to happen, it happens once, and that is how great things happen. All the greatness in the world is inspired by the divine only. Whether it's a piece of music, whether it's a poetry, whether it's a piece of art, or a scientific invention, or anything that has led to greater good has been always divinely inspired. They were not human creations. They were not created by human. That serendipity, what we call. It just happens. So many examples are there like that. When I was a chemistry student, benzene, the structure of benzene, the scientist Kekulé, he came up with the structure. He saw a dream in which a snake was chasing and trying to bite its own tail. And he realized, okay, so benzene structure is cyclic and it is delocalized. All the electrons are delocalized. This is how he finally, and before that nobody knew there are cyclic compounds. They all thought compounds are all either chains or whatever. But then he rediscovered there are cyclic compounds, possibly aromatic compounds came into existence. He could explain their properties. But was it his when he take credit for it, he himself says, I had a dream in which I saw a snake biting its own tail, and then it occurred to me that this might be the reason why benzene behaves this way. So many things. Madame Curie, the other day we were listening about her from Sweden. What did she do? She chanced upon radium. One evening she went back to the laboratory because she had forgotten something and saw something glowing in the dark. And she discovered radium. And now radium had so many uses. So many people, Eureka, Archimedes' principle. He went into a bathtub and started floating because of the volume of water. Then he discovered the principle of buoyancy. He jumped out of the bathtub and ran saying, Eureka, Eureka, I found it, I found it. So also the rishis who discovered these great truths in great, deep contemplative state. They came out and said, this is what is the truth. And so many wonderful things that have happened in inspired poetry. You can't force it out of yourself. Like my chole, you cannot, when you think you are the doer, it's gone. It never happens. No? It cannot be repeated because first time it was effortless, divinely done. Second time you repeat divinity, not possible. The divinity is unique. It doesn't repeat. It happens only once. So if such a thing happens to you, you are very blessed that divine has spoken through you, thought through you, or worked through you. And that's how masterpieces happen. Not otherwise. So I keep reading even these Beethovens and these Mozart, the masterpieces. How did they even come across such a thing? Or take Indian musicians from Tyaga Brahma to this other great trinities. How did these compositions come? From thin air, how can you create a composition like that? And the first time I heard Yandaro Mahanubhavulu, I was very stunned. I just, the complication of it, and the flow of the verses, and the words that is used, and continuous flow of the, and I was told he just spontaneously sang it out when several people had come to meet him, to praise him for what he was, and he just sang out a song, Yandaro Mahanubhavulu, because he said, all of you are also great, I am not the only one. And he praised them in return. So many wonderful things we know. All this has happened because these are all divinely inspired. It's not a human creation. It's not the product of mind. Product of mind is always ulterior, of lower grade and quality. Product of the self, that which is inspired, is ultimate. It's supreme, it's perfect. There is nothing you can add to it, nothing you can remove it. Purnamadaha Purnamidam, that is how it is. You can't improve that song any further because that is how it's perfect. You can't remove lines from that song or add another music. It's perfect. It is how it was supposed to be. And Pranav and all these people were there. I told them one day that I think you have to compose a song on Sadguru, idea of Sadguru. Then they sat. And then they were struggling. They had a lot of ideas, 3-4 things. And I just closed my eyes and said, no, it will start like this. Tanu Manu Dhana Sarva Nanage Nine Sadguru. That is the first line. I know it. Where it comes from, I do not know it, but I know it. This is the line. Now you work on it. And then they started working, and it just flowed after that. There was no effort. There was no effort. That effortlessness is supreme divinity, which wants to express itself, which is looking for the right instrument. A flawless, egoless, attachmentless instrument through which it can completely, fully express itself in its entirety and purity. It doesn't get deviated, diluted, corrupted, contaminated. Such a vessel it looks for. When it finds such a vessel worthy of its grace, the divinity manifests in its fullness and glory. That vessel is no mind vessel. No mind of its own, no thought of its own. Otherwise we say, no, he has a mind of his own. He is not going to listen to what we say. But these great ones have no mind. Imagine just 2 words and so much I have spoken. Because this is the essence of spirituality. You can, if you reach that Shunya Chitta state, while you are awake, not while you are asleep. Or not when you see a tough question paper or a shock that you lost somebody. That time, while being awake and in some perfectly comfortable state, still there is no mind. You just exist, but you don't associate yourself with that kind of body, mind or thoughts. So what happens? He says, Prakrutya shunya chitto yaha pramadad bhav bhavana. Then how does he think? Pramadad. Inadvertently he thinks. He doesn't think because he wants to think. It just happens inadvertently. Like you inadvertently step up on something and then you realize, oh, I stepped onto this. Or you inadvertently you swallow something, then you realize, oh, it got stuck in my throat. You didn't realize. Your mind is somewhere. It happens, right? When our mind is not there, what happens? We keep doing things. And after that we realize, what did I say? What did I do? Many times it happens to us. Because that time our mind was not there, our mind was somewhere. And we happen to do something, and after that we have no memory of it. And when you say, did I say this? You'll say, of course you said this. I said, when did I say this? Just now you said this. You didn't hear yourself say this? No. Or you have something you are eating and your mind went somewhere and you finish the whole plate and then you realize, did I eat all these things? They say, just now. I have no memory, I am still hungry. Many times it happens, right? To all of us it happens where our mind is elsewhere, especially in the classroom. Suddenly one bell rings, the class starts, another bell rings, the class ends, and where were you? Class got over, is it? What did he teach today? Where were you? You went on a ride, your mind ride. So that is the case of mind being distracted and not being where you are. But that is similar to the state when there is no mind. Things are happening, and you have no memory of it. You have no association of it. And if at all ever you associate with anything, how does it happen? Inadvertently. Pramadad bhava bhavana. Pramada means by mistake, by chance, or inadvertently that is happening to you. So when that person thinks also, it is inadvertently, not by effort. Let me think, let me plan, strategize, do this, do that, achieve that. None of these feverish things exist in such a person. Even if he does something, as if inadvertently he ended up doing it, not by his own choice. He's so driven, like an autopilot. Automatically it is doing its own things. Like our Tesla cars, autopilot. It drives itself. You just feed all the information, and then rest it takes from the satellite. And such intelligent cars, they stop at the signal, they start at the signal, they change lanes, and they give signals to other cars on the road. Everything perfectly. One day I went in Tesla car, they wanted to demonstrate in the US. I had my heart in my mouth because he was not holding the steering, but they wanted to demonstrate that it works on its own. I told, still you sit near the steering. Just in case, something happens, you should control it. But remove the hand, car is going. Only one mistake it made at one place. All other places, perfect lane changed in big signals, in the US, those big freeways, such risks. Automatically is navigating itself, changing lanes, stopping, starting. I was stunned because that is how the Jnani's life is. Like the Tesla cars. Some mechanism runs it. They don't run it. Where are they going, what they are thinking, what they are speaking, what they are doing, as if they are all on the autopilot. And they neither have a memory of it, nor they take credit for it, nor they cling on to the things, the thoughts. Such a state is possible is what Janaka is saying. And if at all you ever say like the Tesla made one mistake of one place at a signal, it didn't start because it suspected that more cars are passing. So even though signal turned green, it didn't start. So then this man had to start the car. Inadvertently, by chance, by mistake, once in a while, they end up thinking something. Otherwise, they don't think at all. They are on free flow. That is how the Jnani's life is. So that is what he explained in the first one. And second one he says, how does it feel? Some comparison. Nidrito bodhita iva kshina samsmarano hi saha. Like somebody is woken up from deep sleep. Nidrito. He is sleeping very deep. Suddenly he is woken up. He immediately is at a loss of understanding where am I, what is the time, and things like that, isn't it? It happens, we have no clue, we cannot we lose all the coordinates, we cannot really, remember where we are. Many times from a deep sleep, if you are suddenly woken up, if you gradually wake up, the REM cycle is there, slowly you get into deep sleep, slowly you come out of it, all that. But if you are in deep sleep and suddenly somebody comes and wakes you up, then you suddenly have no moorings, no idea, no identification, no coordinates. You are just lost. For a few seconds, you are lost. It is like this for the Jnanis. One for the mistake, if they even think and they are the doer or whatever, it is by mistake. And it occurs, how does it occur to them? This world, how does it occur to them? As if they have woken up from a deep sleep and they have no clue what's going on. And whatever the memory of it is kshina samsmarano. It's a weak, feeble memory of it. Very faint memory of what has been spoken or done through them. Very faint memory they have. Like we have, when we suddenly wake up, we have very faint memory of who we are or which place we are sleeping in, who is around us and what is the time of the day. Very faint memory. It takes a while to recollect everything and slowly bring ourselves back to the present, the place where we are in. So these people live like that, Janaka is saying. Even if something is done through them or they have spoken or thought, they have very faint memory of it. Like the person who has a very faint memory of the sleep, when he is woken up suddenly. So that is the life of a jnani. Can you believe this is, you have to really sit and kind of contemplate on this shloka. How free is this life? How effortless is this life? How burdenless is this life? How joyful and light weight is this life? There's no sense of doership and joyousship, no burden of carrying all the emotions, memories of the past and anxieties of the future or doing of the present. None of these exist. And if at all it ever touches their being, it is as if it has happened by mistake. As if they just by chance this has happened. Otherwise they are untouched by any of these things. You see these people who walk in the sleep. Have you seen anybody? You must be having somebody in your class, sleepwalkers. They start from one bed and end up in another bed by the end of the night. And so, why are you doing in my bed? When did I come here? One fellow was there, he walked out of our campus only in the sleep. Then they told, please put iron gates and all this stuff because there are sleepwalkers here. And you wake up that person while he's walking. What will he say? How did I come here? Where am I? That kind of life they live, it seems. Not a mindless, not like a life which is forgetful and things. They are aware of things. Where are they? What is happening? Everything. But in awareness they live. But doership and attachment to it they do not have. That's if, did I do it at all? Did I sing this? Did I say this? That kind of life they live. What an amazing feeling it is. And I keep saying, initially when Bhagavan used to speak, I would have no memory of what has been spoken. I just know I went and I came. What happened between, I had very, very limited memory. Limited memory inadvertently. If my mind interfered, then some memory. Otherwise, no memory of it. So that was the state. Because somebody else has taken over your entire being and doing what needs to be. You have no memory of it. And even now, when some of these talks I come with some preparation because because these are shlokas. If I had to give a plain speech, I don't have to prepare. But shlokas are there, I need to know pronunciations, words, meanings, sandhis, so I have to read a little bit. But what I come and speak here is totally different from all that I've prepared and come. And I wonder where these thoughts came from, where these ideas came from. Then I know, these are all coming from another source. It's not the mind that I am associated with. It's not that. It is coming from somewhere else. Many times people come, something I tell, they say, how do you know all these things? This happened 25 years ago in our life. I don't know, how do I know? It just happened that it came out of my mouth, as if you just vomited, you couldn't control. You said a sentence or two. So it happens to jnanis. And they don't take credit for it. They don't say, yes, I am the one who, they don't take credit at all. They are just in a flow. And any memory of whatever has been done and said is very feeble. Because as I said, when you are instrumenting, you have no memory of things. When you are doing, you may remember it today, tomorrow, 10 years later, 15 years later, and regret about it or worry about it. All this is because of doership. So if you are carrying that load of memories of the past, good or bad both, remember all those was because of your doership only. If there was no doership, you will have no memory in your head. You are free, empty. Anytime there is a memory in the mind, it is because of doership. Even good memories. For example, I will tell you nice stories about what happened in my school days, what happened with Bhagavan. These are memories, but they are all because that time I was involved with it. Doership was there. I am a student, he is Bhagavan. I am experiencing this. This is good. Those memories, every memory in your mind is because of your attachment to doing. If there was no attachment to doing so far, you would have no memory of things. Feeble memory at best. Somebody reminds, do you remember 10 years back we had met, you did this for me, I'm so grateful. Oh really, did I? Somewhere I feebly remember, there was a boy I had met. You were the one, is it? Okay, good. That's about it. Conversation ends there. No memory of it. Then you know that you have lived a life of a jnani. If you have loads and loads of those rotten memories in your head, know that all those were mistakes made because even if they are good memory, they are done out of doership, and that is why it is not the right thing. That is the beauty. I read a nice story of a teacher and student. It is not about this, but it fits in the context. It seems a student after many years met his teacher. And he was so thrilled and he went and told, sir, today I am what I am because of you. Oh really? Did I teach you? Yes, you taught me, sir. Not only you taught me, you saved me. What happened? He says, there was a time when I had stolen a watch from one of my classmates because I was tempted by the costly, expensive watch, and I stole it. And then that boy whose watch was stolen made a huge hue and cry, and he complained to you, and you said, I know that the thief is in this room, and it's one of you. But I am not going to ask who is the thief, but I am going to ask you all stand in a circle and close all your eyes. And I am going to put my hand in everybody's pocket, and that's how we will find out who is the thief of this watch. So that's what he did as an exercise. He made them stand in a circle, made them all close the eyes, and then he put his hand in everybody's pocket, and finally the watch came out of this boy's pocket. But nobody knew whose pocket it has come out from. Then he said, that day you saved me a huge embarrassment. Otherwise, in front of my whole class, I would have been humiliated. For the rest of my life, I would be called thief for that one small act. But you saved me, you never revealed my identity. Thank you so much. He said, oh, was that boy you? Why, sir, you did not know? He said, no, because even I closed my eyes. I didn't want to be judgmental, because children do mistakes. If I had kept my eyes open, in my mind also, this boy was the one who has stolen. While the whole class does not know, I would know. So even I did not open my eyes, I closed my eyes and searched for watch. No memory of it. Such pure thought and intention, it only can be divinely inspired, right? Suppose I want to find out who is the thief and teach him a lesson. Doership. That's why so many years later when the boy says, you saved me, he said, I remember that some watch incident, yes. Many years ago. He said, yes, you saved me. I said, because you knew and you did not reveal my identity. He said, I did not know that it was you, because I also did not keep my eyes open. No doership. Now you go back and check your bundle of memories that you have collected over the years, which does not let you sleep, which does not let you love people unconditionally, which does not let you flow freely. How much junk is there, rot is there in the cupboard? Throw it away. Throw it away, clean it away. Dump it away. Don't carry samsar vahikaha, that bundle on your head, unnecessary. Don't drain your energies carrying all the memories of the past. Fine, that time mistake happened, all make mistake. But now Ashtavakra says it's over, now done, it's dusted. Over. Now onwards at least don't create more memories and carry you as a donkey with so much of bundle on its back. Don't do that, he's saying. How is it possible? Shunya chittaha, become shunya chittaha, you become zero mind. Let the flow happen through you. And I said it happens and you have no memory of it. Does the mic have any memory of what I have spoken in it? No. It came, it executed the talk, amplified it, made everybody listen to it. That's it. When I bring the mic tomorrow, does it remember, oh, yesterday from 65 days you are speaking enough? Too much you have spoken through me. All that is inside my head is all a big mess. Too much congestion. Don't speak. Mic doesn't say anything. It's an instrument. It doesn't have memory of anything. Every day it is fresh, as if it is just starting the day or speaking for the first time. That fresh energy, that fresh enthusiasm in life. Why? Because there is no baggage of the past. Lightweight. This is less luggage, more comfort. Likewise, that's how Jnani can wake up every day with the same amount of energy and enthusiasm and work through the day and sleep peacefully and get up again and start the day. The Ajnanis will be all going bonkers. How is it possible? There is no stress and strain for Jnanis. Physically, yes, there might be better. One of the guests who had come, he was asking me, don't you feel tired about all these things? How many years, every day you have been doing this? Looking at you, we are getting tired. I said, I don't feel that the worship, that's why I don't feel the tiredness. For momentarily I will feel pramadat bhava bhavanaha. For that moment, if something is very deep and emotional, maybe for a few seconds, for a few minutes, a little shake happens, but you quickly stabilize yourself. When you're walking, if you don't watch a step, you miss a step, suddenly you wobble, but you immediately control yourself and again start walking steady. So that happens to Jnani also. He's saying that happens once in a while, inadvertently it happens. But regularly, normally, generally, what is the way of life? Shunya chittaha. There are no thoughts, no memories. And if at all there is a memory, if somebody reminds them about something, they have a faint memory of it. Sheena means faint. Sansmarana means memory. Faint memory, as if somebody suddenly wakes up from the sleep and he has no memory of things. Like that they are. So such a beautiful life Janaka is now experiencing. And as I said, you have to be wishing for such a life. How can you wish for anything else after knowing that such a thing is possible? How can you ask for anything lesser than this is my question. Anything lesser than this is cheap. It is shortchanging yourself of an opportunity which is as glorious as this. How can you even come back and ask for anything smaller than this, you tell me, when you have this standing, the Kalpavriksha, to give away anything that you ask for. And you go and ask for coffee podi. How unfortunate that would be. Ashtavakra is telling, he is setting new standards for, even if you have to beg from God, what should you beg? Beg the right thing. At least he is teaching us that. Because we will not stop begging, I know. But at least beg for the right thing, he is saying. What is this begging for samsara and samsaric things? It will come and go. It is a part of life. Whether you want or you don't want, it will happen. Forget about that. Ask for something that is so amazing as this. You live a life with such freedom, such joy, such effortlessness, such divinity, such purity, and such expression of divinity through you. What more do you want in life? No, my wife should be healthy, my children should study well. All that will happen, leave it aside. You first ask for this. Develop this effortlessness, then whether wife is healthy or children are studying, not studying, by their karma, they will go through what they have to go through. You will not be affected by it. How long you want to control others' destinies? Not possible. It's like controlling the wind. How can it be possible? Let it come and go. Don't insist, it will stay. It's not true. So all I am saying is that this wrong understanding has to go away. There was one fellow who did not know much about internet. So one day he said that I am planning to download the internet on my computer. Download the internet, everything that internet has. He doesn't know what internet is like. Can you ever download the whole internet on your system? Not possible, right? Like that. Can you control this world and what goes on in the world? No. Then why ask all these things from God? Let it be. My child doesn't listen to me. Okay, fine. My uncle is cheating my father's business. Okay. My father is like that. Mother. All that will go on and on. But that is part of your karma. You'll go through it. Tan tidikshasva bharata. Bear it, endure it is what Krishna says. Krishna doesn't say, okay, come to me, I will remedy it and everything. No, he says, I will give you the strength to bear it and go through it and not complain about it. And live effortlessly like this. When Nisargadatta Maharaj was said, oh, you got cancer. He said, what do you mean? I am the cancer. I am not different from cancer. Cancer is also me. And health also is me. Sickness is also me. There is the question of asking one and rejecting the other. That is the life of these jnanis, how lofty these ideas are. One shloka I had picked up from Bhagavad Gita, next page 2.69, which substantiates this paradox of living or thinking yet not thinking, of doing yet not remembering. How does it happen? The shloka is very symbolic. It says, Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. It says how the jnani lives. He says, Ya nisha sarva bhutanam. What is night for all the beings, that is the time when this fellow is awake. It means when all are asleep, this fellow jnani is awake. Sanyami means the one who has control over self is awake. And yasyam jagrati bhutani, and the time when all of them are awake, in that time, he looks at it as night. Means he sees darkness or he goes to sleep, in a way you put. So what he says, when everybody is asleep, this man is awake. When everybody is awake, this man is asleep. Not asleep, but what is day for others is night for him. What is day for him is night for others. That opposite these ideas of life are. What is joy for others is sadness, sorrow for him. Because what is this joy of the world? He doesn't care about it. And what is joy for him? The self. Others don't care about it. That is the opposite that they are talking about. It's not physical sleeping or awake. The jnanis stay awake in the night when everybody is asleep. No, only medical students do that. When everybody is asleep, they stay awake. When everybody is awake, they go to sleep. Only in our institute doesn't happen like this. All other institute I know. Till 3 o'clock they'll be doing, till 12 they'll chat, 12:30 they'll eat, 1 o'clock they'll start studying. At 4 o'clock they'll finish. Then they'll go to sleep when everybody is waking up. They'll wake up at 7 without brushing, bathing, straight go to the college, no prayers, nothing. And start their work with that stubble and that disheveled hair and stinking bodies. These are going to be our doctors. That is how it is. That is not about them. This is about real people. Jnanis. How are they? When everybody is asleep, they seem to be awake. Everybody asleep because what is this? This is nidra, maya nidra, bhoga nidra. You are asleep only. You are not awake to your truths. You are not awake to your reality. So you are asleep. As if you are asleep, you have no idea of what you are doing. That's what Shankaracharya says. Mata nasti pita nasti bandhu sahodaraha artham nasti griham nasti tasmat jagrata, he says. Awake. No mother is not real, father is not real, wealth and progeny and relations are not real, the home and accumulations are not real. Wake up, he says. Jagrata. What do you mean? I am awake. He says, yes, but you are asleep to your true self. You are asleep to the truth of your reality. That is why I am awakening you from that. Vivekananda says, from Kathovisha says, no? Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavarani Bodhata. Arise, awake, stop not. What do you mean by awake? I am awake only. No, you are not awakened to the truth of your reality. You are asleep to your truth that you are the divine self and you think you are the body, mind and all the samsara with it. That is why you are asleep only. Because the person who is asleep, he is unaware of things. He is unaware of his surroundings. He is unaware of what is going on around you. Like that you are going into this Jadya Nidra. This is Bhoga Nidra. This is the Nidra, Ajnana Nidra that you are in. You are sleeping in ignorance. That is why it is like night for you and day for me. And what is night for me? Which I am not aware of, I do not want to be aware of, I do not want to be engaged in, is the world. But you become awake. You want to enjoy the world, you want to enjoy everything. So as if you are awake and I have gone to sleep. You are awake to the desires of the world, I am asleep to the desires of the world. I am awake to the truth of myself, you are asleep to the truth of yourself. That is the meaning of this shloka. How Jnani looks at the world. An Ajnani is so active, so happy, so engaged, so thrilled, so excited, also same time so depressed, so anxious, so frustrated, so upset. That is their way of looking at the world. Ajnani is free from all these things. That is why there is a God madness and the world madness. The one who is mad for God appears to be strange for the person who is mad for the world. Both look at each other with great surprise. How can such people exist in this world? Jnani looks at these Ajnanis, maybe wealthy, richer, billionaires, whatever they are, and looks at them. What is this you are doing? What are you running behind these things? And the Ajnani looks at the Jnani who has no clothes, no house, no wealth, no accumulation, no relations, no position. He says, what is this you are doing in this world? And go get a degree, earn some money, make a house, get a wife, have children, get some promotions, accumulate retirement wealth, retire in peace. All kinds of things we tell, right? Both are two opposites, like day and night. This is the idea of the shloka. So, such wonderful ideas. Wonderful means, wonderful is not a word. It is not sufficient to describe the beauty and the depth and intensity of these ideas. There is no word to measure the value of these ideas. Even if it is an idea, let us say. Somebody says, oh, this is all theory, it doesn't exist. Even then, even to think like this is so amazing, isn't it? How many mathematicians are there, theoretical mathematics? Something and all they keep thinking, which has no relevance, at least you can't put it in any practical terms. But their imagination goes wild. And they come out with great theorems and ideas. Once I was arguing with Hanumant, he was a mathematician, and I was like on the opposite end of maths. I never like, especially this theoretical mathematics. That's why abstract mathematics, I never liked it. For me, if practical 2 plus 2, you can see 2 and 2 has become 4, I'm happy. No, don't put limits on that, tends to infinity and then keep imagining where the values will go. How do I imagine? I don't. But he is very interested. He can go on imagining in some world he lives, All these mathematicians like this, they keep on calculating something and then they come up with great theories and which may not have immediate any practical, and you can't even put it in practical terms actually. It is just a theoretical imagination. So I used to say, then he was trying to explain to me that what a mysterious and wonderful and absolutely charming world of mathematics exists out there which you are unaware of. What is day for him is night for me. What is day for me is night for him. I'm anti-mathematics, especially these abstract ones. So I used to tell, I don't understand what these mathematicians are, go on and on and on, write pages and pages and pages of some deductions which have no relevance whatsoever, no application whatsoever. But they take such joy in going on living in that abstract world of mathematics. How does it happen? I asked him. He was explaining, it is very exciting. That intellectual stimulation you get out of it, the possibilities that you can imagine beyond the ordinary. It's such a thrill, he said. So people exist of opposite kinds. For somebody, something gives joy, something else gives joy. But these kind of people do exist. This is what the scriptures are telling. So I am saying spirituality, the idea of our spirituality, you are that self which pervades everything. There is nothing other than you and you are totally changeless, unmodified. Sorrow or joy cannot touch you. You are beyond every of these things. The idea itself is so lofty, like the idea of abstract mathematics. Even if you are not able to experience it right now, the very thought of it is so redeeming and so motivating, so inspiring. That is why I love the scriptures. It is like the abstract mathematics of the mathematicians. The abstract ideas of our spirituality, it is not abstract, it is practical. But since we don't understand, we can't experience, we call it abstract. Even then, these ideas are so lofty and amazing. How can I ever define it in words how beautiful and wonderful these are? It motivates you to live a higher life, to rise above these ordinary, the carnal and the petty, to into the realms of that freedom and effortlessness and a joyful living. Who does not want to live like this? Somebody says, I don't want this life. I don't know what to, I think I have to invent a new word for such a person. Because fool, stupid, ignorant, idiot, all this is insufficient. I put all that multiplied 10 to the power a million times, probably then I will come to some value of a person who rejects and says, I don't want these things. That is how I look at those who don't like spirituality. Of course, those who, they also look at me the same way, I'm sure. Many of them will come, what is this man? Could have done something better. So this is how it is. The next shloka is 173, page 14.2. He says, once you live that kind of life, what happens? Kva dhanani, kva mitrani, kva me vishaya dasyavaha, kva shastram, kva cha vijnanam cha, yada me galitas praha. He says, for such a person who has realized the self, who is living in self, abiding in that supreme state of freedom, what is money for such a person? Kva dhanani. You think you can tempt him with money? Do you think he'll fall for money? Do you think he will get sold out for money? You think money matters to him at all? No. Kva dhanani. What is money for such a person? Kva mitrani. What is friendships and relationships? I want to be friends with everybody. I want to be good to everyone. All should love me. All should like me. I should have millions of followers. Not required. Kva mitrani. What is the point? What is the need for such a person to worry about friends and money? Then kvame vishaya dasyavaha. And for such a person, vishaya means desires of the world. And dasyavaha means thieves, plunderer. So the world's desires, can they plunder such a person? Can they steal anything from such a person? Especially his sleep and his rest and his peace and equanimity. Can the worldly desires ever touch such a person is the idea. Of wealth, of progeny, of relations or whatever things. Does it even matter to such a person? Do the thieves of the worldly pleasures can ever steal away his peace and equanimity and joy and fortitude? Not possible. Then, Shastram, why does he need to read books anymore? Where is the need for him? Because he lives the essence of the book. Sat Shastram Kurvanti Shastrani, he says, Narada Bhakti Sutra. Such a person fulfills the scriptures in his conduct. He lives the scripture day in and day out. Where is the need for such a person to have a scripture? He doesn't need to read up books. Then, Kvacha Vijnanam, where is the need for the worldly knowledge also, or the self knowledge of the self and the pursuit of it? Because he is the very living embodiment of that truth. Where is for him to search for the truth? Where is the need for him to put his mind to work? No need. Then, who is such a person? Yadame Galita Spraha. When all your Spraha means desires have melted away, Galita. They have melted away, evaporated. For such a person, where is the need to worry about money or friends or the sense pleasures or reading up books to realize the self or undertaking all kinds of austerities and efforts? Because he has no desire. So you are saying, oh, so if I don't have to read the scriptures, yes, only if you do not have any desires. Because at the end, what are we trying to achieve out of reading the scriptures and all these things? To reach a state of absolute perfect desirelessness, isn't it? Desirelessness is mindless or no mind. That is the state we want to reach. If you have already reached the stage, where is the need to read all these scriptures? Why are the scriptures written? Because we are not like this, we are very desirous. And we need to be told this is not the right way of living. So scriptures tell us that. But somebody who has reached the state of desirelessness, what will he do with the scripture? As Ramakrishna Paramsa would say, you need the ladder to climb to the roof. Once you have reached the roof, why you need the ladder? So these things, whatever we gain, whether it's wealth or relationships or whatever sensual pleasures or the scriptures or the efforts, all these should be directed towards reaching a state where we have no desires left. That's when Prahalada was asked by Narasimha, you have pleased me with your devotion. I have killed your father Hiranyakashipu, redeemed you of all his torture, and now ask me anything that you desire for. He says, no, I have no desire, nothing to ask. No, please ask something. I want to give something. I am very happy with you. I don't want anything from you. I have everything. You have everything. No, for my sake, I insist. Please ask something. And then Prahalada, the little boy, says, bless me. If you insist that I must ask you for something today, that bless me that I should never ask you for anything. That is the ask of Prahalada. And the fools, what they do, if they ask, what do you want, ask from me? Can I ask 3 things, not 1? The first thing is make me wealthy. Second thing, make me healthy. Third, give me a boon that I can ask 2 or 3 more things next time. Endless desires. Once it seems somebody came and asked one man, like this one person who had done a lot of sadhana, so Bhagavan appeared and told, God appeared and told, ask for anything. He said, I want to ask only one boon I will allow you. Ask only once, and once in a lifetime you are getting this opportunity to think properly and ask. Don't waste this opportunity. He says, yes, I have thought through. What is the... I want to eat in gold plates with my great-grandchildren sitting in a golden palace. That is my ask. It means I should live for like 2000 years or something and eat in gold plates. We should become so very wealthy, and I should be healthy to eat the food also, right? If you are sick, how can you eat? That is my ask. I should eat my food in gold plates with my great-grandchildren. That is his ask. So we are like that. By mistake, God comes and says, ask what you want. We'll give a list. That's why God never appears to us and tells ask. Because he knows it's unnecessary trouble. But Prahalada says, if you insist that I must ask, then let this be, that I should never ask you for anything. Let me be satisfied, contented in whatever I have, because everything is your blessings. Good is your blessing, bad also is your blessing. Happy is your blessing, sad is also. I am okay with everything. Just let me not ever come to a state where I beg and ask in front of you anything. Because you are always there. When his life was being threatened, did he ask anything? No. Simply chanted Narayana, Narayana. That's it. Hari, Hari. Even his father told, I'll kill you, tortured him, tried everything. He didn't bother. He didn't pray, oh Bhagavan, please save me from these tortures, Father. Please redeem me from this person's troubles. Never he asked. He just, Hari, Hari, that's it. So that is the way of the Jnanis. That's why I say of the 4 children, Prahalada is the Jnani. Arti is Markandeya. He was about to die, he prayed to Shiva for a longer life. Artharti is Dhruva, who wanted the kingdom of his father after his father's demise, so wants to sit on his lap. Then Jignasu is Nachiketa, who wants continuously to know what is the truth of life and death. Prahalad is the Jnani. I know you are everything, you are the self, you are everything. I have nothing to ask you. And if you insist also, if at all I have to ask, I'll ask that I should not ask anything. Bless me with that kind of bhakti. So these Jnanis are Kvadhanani, Kvamitrani, what you will fool them with? It seems once Kabir Das ji was there. Somebody told that he is a very detached person. He doesn't care about wealth, name, progeny. So the local king or a merchant came and told him, I am so pleased by your whatever amazing wisdom. I want to give some gift to you. Now rich people will think of what? Give some rich gift, expensive gift to show how much they care and how much they respect you. That is the only, because everything they calculate in money terms. Respect also money. More respect means gold coin they will offer. Less respect means silver coin. Okay respect, copper coin. That is how in everything the money-minded fellows will think money only. So that man gave him a very expensive diamond to Kabir Das. Kabir Das was a weaver. He had a little hut in which he used to live and weave clothes and sell that and he earn out of it. So he gave the diamond. And then wanted to know whether the Kabir Das, what he will do with it. Will he go to the market, sell the diamond, make money, build a house, buy a car? Typical of this money-minded fellows. They think everybody thinks like that. So he gave that and Kabir Das went over. So after some time he sent somebody to know what did Kabir Das do with that diamond. Did he sell it, make money, start one manufacturing unit of a new cloth mill and started exporting it to other countries? What is he doing with that diamond? Because he would have done that if somebody had given him. So he imagines everybody does that only. So he sent somebody to check what happened. Kabir Das came, he said, that diamond I had gifted you, where is that? He said, when did you gift me? No memory. Because no interest. What did you gift? When did you gift? I had given you an expensive diamond. Did you really, for God's sake, have you thrown it into dustbin or something? He says, I remember, you are the one who came, is it? Somewhere I tucked it up in some roof somewhere. Go look there. He looks and it is still lying there on some, up there in the roof area. He didn't bother whether it is a diamond or not. He was not interested. Somebody else would have immediately gone, looked for, called Sodbais or somebody and auctioned it off and made millions out of it and started a new business. Nonsense this is for these people. Because they don't give value to this. This is money-minded people only give value to all these things. The other day I was studying, to test Purandar Dasa, somebody put some gems in the rice akki that was given. His wife removed those pearls and stones like she removes ordinary stones from rice while cleaning it before cooking and threw it in the garbage. The money-minded fellow was shocked, saying, what are you doing? Don't you know these are diamonds and gems and pearls? Oh, is it? Okay. No memory. No interest. Bhagavan used to tell a story. It seems a man and a wife decided to go to Vanaprastha. Very spiritual people. But man thought these women are generally interested in this jewelry and all that. Maybe she still has some lingering desires. So while he was going, he saw a diamond lying in the road. And wife was following him and he was walking ahead. So this thought that women are generally desirous of things, maybe even in Vanaprastha, she might get distracted. So he kicked some dust onto that diamond just to hide it from the wife. The wife noticed that strange thing. And she told, I just noticed what you did. No, I did because I thought you will get distracted because diamond. Oh, was it a diamond? I didn't even know that it is a diamond. I don't even care it is a diamond. You care. You thought diamond is important and I might get distracted, but you even thought that it is diamond. For me, what does it matter? We have given up everything. Now we are in pursuit of God. How does it matter we find diamond on the road or what on the road? Doesn't matter to us. Dust and diamond all the same for them. So he says that is the level of maturity of these Jnanis. Not that they don't know it is diamond, but they don't care that it is diamond. Whereas an Ajnani, my God, it is diamond, you know how expensive it is, what all you can buy with it, you can do so many things. Okay, they don't care. This is how these Jnanis are. They don't care because they don't give value to these things. This is all material things which have no bearing on their spiritual joy. In fact, these are obstacles in their path. So the more you accumulate around you, the more value you give to these things, the more distance you are from the divine. The more obstacles you have created for yourself on this path. If you can have all these things and not have any attachment to, is a different matter. Like Janaka is still the king, he still rules the kingdom. I'm sure he has a treasury full of wealth. He has to look after his people. All that is fine. But he has become a Janaka. No? It doesn't matter to him. But for us, we want to realize the self, yet accumulate all these things and give value to all these things also. Isn't it? How many people are ready to burn all their boats? Nobody. Everybody has a plan B. The other day I was telling, if you have a plan B in this mission, on this path, you will never achieve the truth. It will be right there in front of you, but as if in a glass case, you can't touch, feel, smell, taste, nothing. The truth will be right in front of you, you will not be able to touch it. Why? Because you have plan Bs. Only those who have no plan B alone can attain God. They have only one plan God. Plan world doesn't exist for them. No saving or doing anything. By virtue of what you are doing, if it comes to it, is a different matter, but they don't have a plan B. The other day I was telling, I and my dog, we don't have a plan B. We don't have another house, we don't have relations, we don't have money, we don't have anything. The dog is no more, unfortunately, Duke. But he taught me great lessons. He had no plan B. He was totally dependent on me. Only one plan A. But we have B, C, D, all the way to Z. If this doesn't work, that will work. This doesn't work. Can you believe? Somebody even made a plan. They said, why donate it to this trust? Buy an apartment inside. Anyway, Swamiji has a heart problem. We don't know when he will kick the bucket. Our money will go for a toss. So just come here, enjoy 2 days of stay here happily and go back. Why put money in this place? Such plans also people have. Forget about anything else. And you want and at the same time, in the same breath, they also want to realize God and the self. How is it possible? I really laugh at all these funny people who, one side, on one hand, they want God, on the other hand, they want to hold on to the world, keeping their plans intact. They don't get God. Duvidha mein dono gaye, Maya mili na Ram. In this confusion, you lose both. Neither the world nor God. Nothing will come to you. Both you will lose in this process of trying to achieve both. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen. It is binary, I always keep saying. So these people like that. What is wealth for them? What is wealth? What is friendship? What are the relationships? What are the desires of the world? What are the shastras and the rituals and the all kinds of so-to-call activities of spiritual nature? How does it matter? How does it matter to them? And Vijnanam, all this knowledge which we keep collecting from everywhere, what is this for them who have no desires left in them? The end of all spiritual sadhana is to reach a state of desirelessness. Then whatever comes by way of life, by divine will, you take it and you're happy. This is the real inside of the jnani. Outside they may look ordinary, so don't get confused by their external appearances, they're deceiving. Inside is where the jnani is jnani. And who knows the jnani? Another jnani only will know this jnani. And a jnani cannot imagine that jnani can be like this also. So this is where the beauty of our scriptures are, that how clear they are. And here one nice shloka comes from, because a lot of people keep reading up a lot of scriptures. They ask me, which parayanam you want me to do? I'll tell them something. I finished that. What is next? Hey, is this some kind of a race? What's next? What's next? Have you understood this? Have you implemented this in your life? Have you started practicing this? Have you experienced this? Poti, Kabir Das used to say, Poti padi padi jag bhaya, pandit jag mua, pandit bhaya na koi, dhai aakhar prem ka padhe so pandit hoye. People are so desirous of reading up so many scriptures and they take pride. I remember these many shlokas, that many mantras, these many namasmarnas, that many pilgrimages, those many dana, charity, and these. What will I do with all that count is the question. What will God do with all this count? Does He really care? Have you become desireless at the end? No, then all this is waste. All this is a waste only, right? What will such a person do with all these things? So that is the idea. He says there's no point in just collecting. So Adi Shankara in Vivek Chudamani uses a very nice shloka. He says, Shabdajalam Maharanyam Chitta Bhavana Karanam. This word is in the forest of the words. One can get confused and be lost. Read Dvaita philosophy, then Advaita philosophy, then one Vishishta Dvaita philosophy, then communist philosophy, then socialist philosophy, and then confuse yourself like Narasimhamurthy. He did all that. Poti padi. Only now he understood, all that was not necessary, is it? But I spent hours, hundreds of hours reading, collecting information. What will I do with your information? I need your transformation. And that can happen with one word. Why so many words, so many books? Not required. So he says, Ataha prayatnat gyatavyam tattva jnanais tattvam atmanaha. You instead try to understand the essence, tattva jnana. Instead of mugging up shlokas after shlokas and feeling that the more shlokas I know, the more spiritual I am. That is foolishness. That is why Kva Shastram, it says, what will you do with Shastra? It's a waste of time. If you are not developing desirelessness at the end of the whole effort, then everything that is done is a waste of time and energy. It may give you some kind of intellectual kick that I know so many Shastras, shlokas. Some people come here they don't come here to take any blessing. They come here to tell me how much they know and how spiritual they are. Half the time in the interview, they are just, self-trumpeting. I have read this, I have gone there, I have done that, this is puja, that many Krishna, I keep listening to them. And whoever brought him to the interview, I give him a look. Next time you bring one person like this, waste my time, you are done. Simply don't collect people. Many people are there, Swamijis are there. I want to come here. They don't want to come here to learn anything. They come here, they want to come here because they want me to know how great they are. How much they have done and how much they have achieved. And how popular they are, how big their following is. I don't care. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in knowing all these things. If you are really a desireless, that divine, that pure, I will only come to you. Why should you come here? I'm telling it on record, I'm saying. The only person after Bhagwan where I felt those strong spiritual vibes, that the real vibes, what you say, was Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamiji, Jagat Guru of Adi Shankara, Sringeri Sharada Peetham. He's the only person in front of when I went, I melted away like a block of ice. That purity, that jnana, that wisdom, that maturity, that presence. I've never felt like that. I've met so many people, no offense to anybody. But when I went to Sringeri for the first time, I knew it is destined. Everybody asked, why are you going to Sringeri? Why are you going to the Jagat Guru? Why you need to go at all? I said, I have not thought and planned this. This has come by way of it. Anyway, we went. When I went there, the first time I saw him, our eyes met and I just knew he is a Brahmagyani. He is a Jnani. He is not another Jagat Guru type Jagat Guru who knows lot of scriptures and lot of other things. No, he knows the essence. One look and you know. Jauhari ki gati, Jauhari jane. Only a jeweler knows another jeweler. Like that, only a Jnani can identify another Jnani. The moment I saw this is the only person after Bhagwan where I have felt those vibes. Very simple, very easy, very no what you call, airs about being whatever. That is the only one. So, for those people, how does it matter? What is they are getting, what they are not getting, whether this is that, they don't care. They don't care because none of these matter in the spiritual path. What matters is, am I being able to abide in that self effortlessly? That's all their concerns are. Other things don't concern them. So that is the idea. Why collect information and burden yourself with the additional ego and arrogance that come with it? Rather be free. Work on becoming desireless. That requires you to read no books. That requires you to go to no pilgrimages. That requires you to do no austerities. Simply get rid of desires is what we are saying. Become desireless. And how can you become desireless? Have full faith. The divine is there. What can go wrong? What can go wrong? Yesterday Bhartrihari is saying, when will such a day come to me, O Lord, when I will eat just out of my hand, no vessels, no plates, no cutlery, nothing. And I will wear nothing because I care for nothing. And I will be free, without desires, without attachment. When will such a day happen to me? Bhartrihari prays to Shiva. So these people live like that. They don't care about anything else. We think they care. Oh, the big donation, we'll get closer. If you do something like this, you will get more popular. Nothing like this, they don't care. The next sloka, 14.3, 175 page. Is again continues and says, Vijñate sakshi purushe paramatmani cheshware nairashye bandha mokshe chana chinta muktaye mama. What is my present status? He says, Vijñate sakshi purushe. I have known the supreme witness of everything. Because I am that. How do I know that? I am that now. Remember Drigadrishya Viveka, there is a witness to everything. When you see the object, eyes are the seer. Then when you see the eyes, mind is the seer. When you see the mind, that awareness, Sakshi Bhuta, that is the seer. And who is seer for that? No one. It is the ultimate. That is the idea. So I have known that self, the Sakshi Bhuta, who is the witness to everything. Good, bad, ugly, happy, sad, all things are just witnessed by. Like the upper bird, does not engage in anything. Just witnesses. Then Paramatmani, who is the Paramatmani? Atma is in everybody, that Jivatma. Paramatma is. Remember from Purushottama Yoga I was telling yesterday, there is Akshara Purusha, and that is Uttama Purusha. Akshara Purusha is the Jivatma in everyone. Akshara Purusha is the collective. And Parama Purusha is beyond that, from which everything originated. So that Paramatma I have come to know of. Who is the Ishvara? Who is the Lord? Who controls, governs everything? Not you and I, not the governments and politicians. It's that supreme divinity that governs everything, that makes the sun rise at time, set at the right time, seasons happen, rains come and go, make all the planets orbit around without getting into any accidents, make the whole sky suspended with billions and billions of galaxies, not just stars, stay in their position and do what they need to do. He is the governor of everything. He is the Lord. He is the supreme Isha, Ishvara. So, Acha Ishvare, I have known that. Then Nairashye, I have given up all the desires. I told last time, desirelessness is the ultimate supreme state. Nairashye, because I have no desire, bandha mokshe, I have also gotten rid of bondage or liberation. Only when you are bound can you be liberated. Now I have realized I was never bound like that washerman's donkey, who was never bound, but he thought he is bound and so he was not moving unless the washerman acted like removing the noose from his neck. Then only he started moving. Like that, I was never bound, so I was never going to be free. I was always free. He says, Nairashye bandha mokshe cha na chinta muktaye mama. And chinta, or thinking also is not there in me. I am free from all thinking. This thinking that I have to realize God also is not there. Or I have to do 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 things to become closer to God. None of these ideas exist in me. I am free. I am free. Because I have seen that, I have known that, I have experienced the self. Paramatmani Cheshware. This is the idea that Janaka is in right now. That is the state that Janaka is in. And he is so clearly, so very eloquently explaining this. Not for Ashtavakra's sake, our sake. These slokas are meant for us. And as I say, it's not that Ashtavakra and Janaka spoke all the 20 chapters of Ashtavakra Gita. It is a poetry. Essence, as I say, the first chapter itself gives you all the essence. And the last chapter summarizes everything, just like Bhagavad Gita. Second chapter gives you the essence and 18th chapter summarizes everything. Like that, Ashtavakra also first chapter gives the essence, 20th chapter will summarize everything. In between these conversations are like Bhagavad Gita's conversations, simply. You think Krishna Arjuna spoke so much in the battlefield? No. Few shlokas maybe, may not be even shlokas, just as conversation. Maybe not poetry but just prose. Then our Veda Vyasa put it into a nice format and gave it to us. Like that, Ashtavakra also was composed much later by somebody and they added shlokas, they made it look nice. But ideas are for us who are on the path. That once he has seen the ultimate witness, the awareness within, he has understood that and understood that is the supreme most. His desires have disappeared. He's become free. There is no freedom and bondage. That idea of freedom and bondage also has disappeared. And all the thoughts that come accompanying these worries and anxieties, they also have gone and he's free. I'm free, he says, muktaye. Those ideas, everything has become non-existent for me. Now what a beautiful thought. Another shloka that comes from Drigdishya Viveka says, Dehabhimanam galite Vijñate Paramatmani Yatra Yatra Manoyati Tatra Tatra Samadayaha. This shloka is from Drigdishya Viveka, which says, once your body consciousness is gone, you don't associate yourself with the body, and you have known the Paramatmani, the ultimate supreme self. What happens? Yatra Yatra Manoyati. Let the mind go wherever it wants. Wherever it goes, you are always in the state of Samadhi. How could you go to the market? You are a jnani, you are not supposed to go to the market. Market or no market is all the same for me. That is why when Buddha took a shelter in the night in the house of a prostitute. The whole city was up in arms against Buddha. The uproar. How could you do this? How could you receive some gifts from such a lowly woman? Buddha said, she is what she is in your mind. For me, she is another being, another soul, another self. That's it. I don't see any difference. You feel bad because you have some associations and because of that certain ideas of good and bad. For me, what does it exist? What does it matter? When Jesus of Nazareth could accept the Mary of Magdalene, how could he do that when people were throwing stones at her, saying she is a woman of lower existence? What did he say? Okay, she has made mistakes, I agree. But the one who has never made a mistake in life, let him pick up a stone and hurl at her first. And nobody had the guts to do that because everybody had made mistakes in life. See, that is Jnani. He's able to see the higher, deeper self in all and able to forgive and accept. Otherwise, for Ajnanis, even on the surface, they say, okay, I forgiven you, I accept you. Deep inside, they don't. They hold on to those grudges and anger and ideas. A Jnani will forgive. Okay, fine. As long as you are repentant, you are correcting yourself, it's fine. Then this Mary became the disciple of Jesus and stayed with him till the end. All other so-called noisy disciples of his, Peter, who said, oh, I am going to be with you, and this and that. Who stayed with him? They all ran away for their lives. This Mary stayed with him till the end. She followed him till the Golgotha and she wiped his face every step when he was bleeding and sweating. And till the end she stayed. She didn't care whether she will also be crucified if she shows any respect or any devotion to Jesus. She didn't care. Because she had experienced pure love. She had experienced unconditional forgiveness, which is possible only for Jnanis. So that is why he says, wherever your mind goes, there is samadhi only. You don't see anything other than that. At some point in time, Swami Vivekananda, who started his Parivrajika life soon after the demise of Ramakrishna Paramsa. Parivrajika means he has to keep moving. More than a night, he cannot stay in one place. People would call him and tell him, please give us lectures, please give us gyan, please talk about this topic, that topic. But nobody asked him, have you eaten? Do you have clothes? Where will you stay tonight? Nobody would ask him. People are selfish. They want to just get what they want to get out of people and then run away. So he would organize an hours on end, he'll keep talking about his Vedanta. But hardly anybody after the meetings would ever come to him and say, have you eaten, Swamiji? Where will you stay tonight? Where will you rest tonight? Nobody will ask him. They'll listen to the talks and go away. At that point of time, he was very hungry. One so-called the lower caste person, he had this doubt. Whether this Swamiji I am seeing from morning, he was not allowed to attend the meetings. He was the cleaner of that place, wherever he was giving the lecture. So that poor fellow saw from morning till evening these young Swamijis talking and talking and talking, and groups of people are coming, asking questions, clarifying their doubt, taking blessings and going. But I haven't seen him eating anything since morning. So in the night when everything is over, everybody is gone because he is not allowed to even step into such so-called sacred space because he is low born. He went and asked Swamiji, Swamiji, you have been speaking since morning, have you eaten anything? Then Swamiji with tears in his eyes said, no. Then he said, oh, then I will go and tell somebody that you have not eaten. He said, no, do you have any food on you? He said, I do have my dinner, but I am unfit to feed you. Swamiji says, your hunger, my hunger, both are same. It doesn't matter. At least you had the heart better than those so-called wise ones who are sitting till now. And you asked me whether you have eaten. So I am ready to eat from your plate. He said, Swamiji, you will eat, you are Jnani, you will have no problem. But these people, if they see that I have fed you, they are going to kill me. Then Swamiji says, what knowledge is that? Which does not even care for another person's hunger. What devotion and what wisdom is that? You cared, you are the wisest, I'll eat, come give. And he eats from his plate. That's beautifully captured in the movie again, that Swami Vivekananda movie. The idea is that for them there is no problem. Now, I should not tell this here, but when we were small, there was a maid servant who used to come and take care of us when we were kids because Amma was working and grandmother had just left to another place. So we had hired some girl. She was only 13, 14 years. We were all 10 years, 6 years, 4 years like that. And she would take care. So there was a Rama temple in our town, and we'll often go there. And she used to live behind the temple in a colony of barbers. Her father was a barber or something like that, or some, those things. But she was here only to clean the place and cook and take care of us while mother was away. But on one weekend we went to the temple, and there she innocently told, "My house is behind, would you come?" And we were children, we were all excited to go to new places. Anything new, you can fool around for some time, don't have to go back home, we are happy. So we all played in the river for some time, and there were small children's park, swings and slides. After that, we were all hungry, very hungry. And then we told, "We'll come to your house, but will you give us something to eat?" She got scared because how can she, what can she feed? But we as kids went with her to her house, and her mother had cooked something, and she happily fed us. We all ate there. When we came back, my father was furious. He said, "How can you go and eat in their house? Do you have any shame?" I said, "We don't know. We were hungry, and she said there is food, and she served. So we ate, all three of us." It didn't occur to us that this is some other caste, we are other caste, she is a servant, we are the masters. That is a lowly people's colony. We are living in quarters here. It should not be done. Nothing like this occurred to us. We were hungry, and that was food, and that's sufficient for us. Because children are innocent. Then the world teaches them. These are low people, those are our people, this is other caste. These ideas are stuffed into the heads of children by the elders. And forget about telling that. We told her, "Please, this is very tasty. Can you bring it on Monday morning when you are coming?" And she brought a box full of food. My father said, "Throw it away." Because he felt it is wrong. No, what I am saying is that eating in people's house or touching others and this untouchability, all these things, that is a part of all the societal, what you call injustice and inequality. For a Jnani, where it exists, doesn't matter. Why? Because everybody is one and the same for such a Jnani. That is the idea he is saying. The next shloka is my super favorite. It's on 14.4. Like if those are 10 shlokas I have to pick up from Ashtavakra, this would be one of them. And this says, "Antarvikalpa shunyasya bahih swachhanda charinaha bhrantasyeva dashastas tadrisha eva janate." Bhrantasyeva dashastas tadrisha eva janate. Which means, Antarvikalpa shunyasya, inside of him is free of all thoughts, absolutely peaceful, thoughtless state, no mind state. Bahi swachhanda charina, in the outside, freely he is roaming about doing what he has got to do. But inside there are no thoughts. Outside he is super active, doing what needs to be done. Swachhanda, as per his wish, not under compulsion or from desire or force or some societal obligations. Under no pressure, no compulsion. He is acting, he is working freely. Swachhanda. But inside there are no thoughts. Absolutely zero thought, peaceful. And looks like how Bhranta. Bhranta means like a madcap, like a lunatic, like a lost person. Because his behavior is like that. Bhrantasya eva dasha. And his situation of a person who is inside zero thought, outside happily doing what he has got to do, doesn't listen to anybody, doesn't conform to any structures, doesn't oblige any of these societal pressures, does what he has got to do. There is no rule books for him. Such a person appears to be a bhranta, a mad person, and his situation, dasha, tah, who knows, tadrisha eva janate. The one who is like him alone understands who is this person. The ordinary cannot comprehend this behavior, this person. They will think, what's this, what's wrong? Only another person who is also him, who is like him, can understand what this person is all about. Like Vivekananda said, only another Vivekananda can know what this Vivekananda is. Nobody else can comprehend me. Because any tool they apply to comprehend me, it won't be sufficient. Only by becoming another Vivekananda, you would know what this Vivekananda is like. That is why Bhagavan told me, if you want to know me, become me. And he clarified, who am I? I am pure, selfless love. If you can become pure selfless love, you will become me. Only then you will understand my heart. From the outside, you have an imagination of what Sai Baba is. But from the inside, what he is, only you will know only when you become him. What a golden thought. So this shloka says, these people seem very peculiar. They seem very strange. Even at the risk of being called mad fellows or lunatics. Because they don't care. They don't care about what the society thinks of their behavior, how they interpret it, what will they talk behind their backs or say it on their face. None of this bothers them. Swachchanda charina, they're free. But inside they are absolutely peaceful, zero thoughts. They are just driven by the divine will. They are just moving about doing things as per the divine will. They have no involvement, no attachment to any of these things. Now once Akka Mahadevi gets up from her marriage mantapa and throws away her jewelry and even her clothes in front of so many who had gathered to witness her marriage and walks out naked from her own marriage mantapa, what should you call such a lady? Hey, are you mad? That is what people will say. What's wrong with you? What's gone wrong? Have you lost it? This is what they will say. But who knows that what was going on in Akka Mahadevi's heart at that time? Only another Akka Mahadevi would know. That why she stood up and walked away from the marriage hall without anything on her body, throwing it all away to her father, saying, I need nothing from you. You are worried as a princess, I may bring disrepute to you. Here, I owe you nothing, you owe me nothing. I'm walking away. And she walked away. Since then, she never wore a piece of cloth. Roamed street to street. And finally at Sri Shailam, she gave her body to Mallikarjuna. In the sense, Lord Shiva, to whom she thought she is married to. So, these people are like that. What can you tell? Other ladies will say how shameless she is. Look at what an embarrassment for her family. They will tell their children, don't look at her. Run away from when she comes. But she had no problem. Bhrantasyeva dashastasta tadrisha eva janate. Only another Akka Mahadevi will know what she has done. Only another Mirabai will know what this Mirabai is. Wedded to a king, living in luxury, but goes out in the streets dancing with the sadhus and saints, singing the glory of Krishna. Mere to Giridhar Gopal. Dusaro na koi. Nobody belongs to me, I belong to none. Only Krishna I belong to. And she is dancing, a queen dancing on the streets of her kingdom, brings disrepute, infamy, and her in-laws are super upset. They tell the husband, either you control her or kill her. But we can't see this happening day in and day out. This is such a shame. And he offers her a cup of poison and wants her to drink it in front of the whole court, saying, you must die, because that is the only way I can get rid of all that people are saying. That our queen is a woman of no character. She has no dignity, no self-respect. She dances around in the streets with saints and mendicants and monks and the beggars, singing the glory of Krishna. She deserves to die. So also when Pilatus was confronted with this dilemma to punish Jesus, the high priest said he must be killed. The people said he must be killed. They forgave a murderer, a real criminal, because there was a chance to forgive one, and the choice was between Jesus and the criminal. And people, they forgave that criminal and punished Jesus. And Jesus still said, when they asked him finally, are you, as you claim, the king? He says, yes, I am the Son of God. That's it, that's it. No, not another word. Take him, crucify him. Did they change their ways for the sake of the world, to oblige to those societal norms? No, they were true to their hearts. They did what they were born to do, at whatever price. This is why they are called Bhranta or madcaps or lunatics or fools or idiots or whatever you call in whatever names. But they alone know who they are. And only another person who is like them alone will know who they are. Rest of them will have their imagination of what was right, what was wrong. They'll judge them. Mirabai says one bhajan is there. Paga gunguru bandh Meera nachi re. She has tied anklets to her feet and she is dancing in the streets, singing Krishna's glory. And what do people say? They say, Log kahe Meera bhaire bavari, saas kahe kulnasi re. People say she has gone nuts, she has gone crazy, she has gone mad. And what does her mother-in-law say? She is destroyed the repute and honor of our family. This is how she is being accused by people and her own people, her mother-in-law. But did she care? Pag gunguru band mira nachi re. Main to mere Narayan ki aap hi ho gayi dasi re, she says. I have become a servant of my Narayana, my Lord, Krishna. And I have nothing other than this. I cannot be another way. I will be lying to myself if I live any other way than in devotion to Krishna. And she left the kingdom. Of course, she was never killed. She drank poison. Nothing happened to her. Finally, they left her saying, you get out of this kingdom. Her husband told, you just leave the kingdom and go away. Don't be. She was exiled. And she went all the way to Mathura. She never returned. She died in Mathura. The idea is that they don't care. This is how they are because they are true to themselves. They have lost themselves in this Atma Bhava. Where is the body and where is the punishments of the body that will bother them or deter them? They won't. They will not give up their way for anything in life. Because inside they have no desire. Antar vikalpa. Shunyasya. Shunya chitta they are. But bahi swachandi charina. That is why they are free on the outside. Because they are free on the inside, so they are free on the outside. If they were bound on the inside by desire, they will be bound on the outside also to behave accordingly, to please people, to oblige them, to be nice to everyone, because they have desires to be fulfilled for which they depend on the people outside. So they have to lie, they have to, be nice or not even nice, be in a way pleasing to the people even if they are not wanting to. Why? Because they are bound by the desire. Tell lies, cheat, do whatever it takes. But these people are free on the inside, so they are free on the outside. And then they are thought of as mad people, but these are by those who have understood nothing of them. Near our Gulbarga campus, there is a village called Udagi. There, one saint lived. He was always naked, never wore anything. He's like an avaduta. So one day, a great Swamiji was coming to that village, it seems. I don't remember the names, but this is a real story, true story. When that bigger Datta Matha Swamiji was coming to their village, he heard that he is arriving here and he will stay at the temple. There is a beautiful temple of Lokeshwara or something, Shiva temple. He became so excited. For the first time, generally cared nothing. He will be lying in one place, doing his own thing. Whatever people said, he never cared. That day he went and searched for some clothes to hide his modesty. He picked up some rags, put it all together, tied it around himself, went and had bath, and got himself ready to receive this Swamiji. And everybody is surprised by his strange behavior, because all these years, even if people tell, go have a bath and clean yourself and behave, he would not do. He would not even cover himself. But this is the first time he covered himself and had bath and was ready to receive Swamiji. And when that Swamiji came, he served him very devotedly for 3 days, 3 nights till the Swamiji stayed. And after the Swamiji left, he removed the piece of cloth and threw it away and again became his old self. So people thought, we thought this man has finally learnt his lessons, he is behaving well. Again he has gone back to his old ways. He said, why did you wear clothes in front of that Swamiji? If you were have no shame, like you roam around in front of us, you should have roamed around in front of him also. Now in front of us you are naked, in front of Swamiji you covered yourself. Why? He said, do we feel ashamed in front of animals? Why do I need to cover myself in front of all of you? First time a human being had come to our village, so I covered myself. That's all they look at the world. How the world looks at them, madcap, naked, shameless, an embarrassment to everybody. Good for nothing. But how he thinks of the village people who are well dressed, well groomed, living in nice houses and behaving so-called socially very well, you are all animals. Only interested in ahara, nidra, bhaya, maituna. You are animals. In front of you, why should I feel ashamed? In front of animals, do we need to cover ourselves? Oh, first time a human being had come into our village. So I felt a little ashamed, so I covered myself. This is his reply. Bhrantasyeva dasha. Only another one like him will know what he is saying. Village people will never understand what he is saying. This is the amazing thought of our scriptures, you see. The freedom of what it is. Once I don't think I'll teach much. Once I was, that's already time. Last one. When I was coming, I had gone to Himalayas for trekking some time back. Those days I could do all these misadventures. Now I cannot. We went to the Valley of Flowers. There's a place in the Himalayas. It's called Valley of Flowers. It's a very beautiful sight, and only once in a year during a period of 2 or 3 months the flowers bloom. It's like miles and miles of flowers, wild flowers. And there is also Hemkund Sahib there, which is a Gurudwara on top of that height, where it seems Lakshmana, Rama's brother, went and did his tapas and all. And I believe Guru Gobind Singh Ji and his previous lives, he saw that he had come here. So it's a very sacred place for the Sikhs. So they have a Gurudwara on top of, literally nothing, and there is a hot water spring there in that place, with which you can even enter the pool and have a bath, and it's not cold at all, though it's actually very cold on the outside. And they serve you a free food and all. So I went to Valley of Flowers. It was a huge trek, a place called Govind Ghat. From there you have to climb. It is over 2 days, it's like 35 kilometers one way, I think. So 2 ways, 70 kilometers of trekking. So I had gone there, and I was walking, and first day I walked, it was like, I never trekked so much, that too in such thin air and not used to it. So with great difficulty somehow I reached. Next day we went to see Valley of Flowers. Then the next day we went to see the the Gurudwara, Hemkund Sahib, and then we were returning. And I had by the time acclimatized myself, so I was quite okay. Then when I was returning on that morning, around 7 o'clock, because we had to reach before 11 down and board our vehicles. So I was coming down, all alone I was. Imagine the peace of Himalayas. That's why yesterday Shloka, Bhartri says, when I will live in Himalayas and stay by Ganges and eat the berries and worship the Shiva with wild flowers, when will these deers come and rub their backs against mine? When will such a day happen to me, O Shiva, he says. No. That I noticed, I enjoyed the beauty and serenity and peace of Himalayas. So I was coming down, and there was a little stream that was flowing, that sound of water, absolute serene, pristine environment, and everything is perfect. Then I heard a voice of a lady sing. And it was so soulful that I froze. I just froze. It was like 7:30 in the morning, fresh sunlight, pure air, nice ice water, melted ice water flowing, and green trees, birds chirping. Suddenly this voice in the middle of nowhere. And she was singing an old song. But the voice was so soulful. In that she sings, Hey Rom Rom mein basne wale Ram, Jagat ke Swami tum antaryami, main tumse kya mangu? What should I ask you for? She was like mendicant, monk, but a woman. She says, you Rama, O Lord, who resides in every Roma, means every hair of my body. You are the Lord of this whole thing, Paramatmani Ishware. You are everything. What should I ask you for? And then she says that who you are, how anybody can know about you. Only another you will know who you are, she says. I don't remember the verses that I'm getting. But भेद तेरा कोई क्या पहचाने, जो तुझसा हो वो तुझे जाने, she says. Who will ever know, fathom your truth? If anybody else is also you, only such a person will know who Rama was. And who are we to say what is right, what right you have done, what wrong you have done? He abolished, whatever, sent away Sita. He did this, he did that. So much of confusion in Ramayana, especially the feminists of today. They are so angry with Rama. But this song says, भेद तेरा कोई क्या पहचाने, जो तुझसा हो वो तुझे जाने. तेरे किए को हम क्या बोले, क्या बुरा है क्या भला है, what is good, what is not good. Who are we to judge you? What do we know about you after all? And then she says, therefore Jagat ke Swami Antaryami, मैं तुमसे क्या मांगू? What can I ask you? Unless I become you, I don't even know who you are. I am imagining Rama is this, Rama is that. Like the blind man trying to understand the elephant. What do I know of such a person who is a jnani? Unless I am a jnani, I am incapable of understanding a person of that jnana. Why he does what he does. Why he went all the way to fight and then abandoned his wife, but testing her, putting her through fire. Why he did that? What do I know? And who am I to judge it as wrong or right? Because you are somebody, you are only another Rama will know who this Rama is. That was the essence of the song. Very beautiful song. I think someday you should practice. That it's a film song though, but very beautiful bhajan type song. And so I thought that I would tell you that let us not try to judge the ways of the divine. Unless you yourself have realized divinity, you have no authority to pass a judgment. And only a jnani, if at all, must say a word or speak a word about another jnani is authorized to do so. But ajnanis prattle about, chatter about, and pass judgments, comments, remarks. This is not right because they don't know why the jnani does what he does. And an ajnani with his limited understanding cannot comprehend the magnitude of a jnani's personality. Only a jnani would know another jnani. That is the idea of this slokas. I'll sing a line of that song because somebody told me you are not singing so. He says, हे रोम रोम में बसने वाले राम, जगत के स्वामी तुम अंतरयामी, मैं तुमसे क्या मांगूं, मैं तुझसे क्या मांगूं, हे रोम रोम में बसने वाले राम. This is the song. What are you going to sing? You're going to sing what? Meera Bhajan. Okay.
Now we'll be presenting a Meera Bhajan, which expresses, the bhajan expresses total devotion and surrender to the Guru, whose grace alone brings peace, wisdom and liberation from worldly illusions and suffering. The devotee finds joy only in the Guru's feet, the source of all spiritual fulfillment. Mohe lagi lagan Guru Charanana ki.
लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, चरण बिना कुछ नहीं भाए, चरण बिना कुछ नहीं भाए, जग माया सब सपनन की, 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 मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन भव सागर सब सूख गए हैं, भव सागर सब सूख गए हैं, भव सागर सब सूख गए हैं, भव सागर सब सूख गए हैं। फिकर नहीं मोहे तरनन की, फिकर नहीं मोहे तरनन की, फिकर नहीं मोहे तरनन की, मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की। आत्मज्ञान दियो मेरे सतगुरु, आत्मज्ञान दियो मेरे सतगुरु। ओ आत्मज्ञान दियो मेरे सतगुरु, आत्मज्ञान दियो मेरे सतगुरु। पीढ़ा मिठी भव मरनन की, पीढ़ा मिठी भव मरनन की, पीढ़ा मिठी भव मरनन की, मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की। मीरा के प्रभु दनी सादा मदनी दमरे मृमदनी दमनी दमरे मपा मरे मरे सा दसरी गरी दसरी गम गरी सरी दसरी गरी दसरी गम गम ध मद सद सरी गरी सरी दसद मद मगरी गा रि गम गरी सरी दसरी गरी सा सरी मा रि मद मदनी सानी द मरे मा पा मरे मरि नि द सा सरी म मरे मद द मदनी सानी द नि सा मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर। आस बढ़ी गुरु चरणन की, 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 मोहि लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहि लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की। चरण बिना कुछ नहीं भाए, चरण बिना कुछ नहीं भाए, जग माया सब सपनन की, जग माया सब सपनन की, मोहि लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहि लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहि लागी लगन, मोहि लागी लगन, मोहि लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की। सर्वसुगुण सिंधवे सकल सुजन बंधवे, सर्वसुगुण सिंधवे सकल सुजन बंधवे, गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमंगलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमंगलम्। दीन दुखित पोषकाय दान धर्म प्रेरकाय, दीन दुखित पोषकाय दान धर्म प्रेरकाय, सर्वलोकहितरताय सर्वमङ्गलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम्। वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय, वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय, ब्रह्मज्ञानबोधकाय दिव्यमङ्गलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम्। सत्य साई नः प्रियाय सत्य प्रेम विग्रहाय, सत्य साई नः प्रियाय सत्य प्रेम विग्रहाय, नित्य शुद्ध निर्मलाय नित्यमङ्गलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय दिव्यमङ्गलम्, सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम्। ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे, भक्त जना संरक्षक, भक्त जना संरक्षक अति महेश्वर। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते, स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते, आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धव। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। माता पिता गुरुदेवनु मरियन्तयु नीवे, स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ, नागेन्द्राश्रय। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओंकार रूप ओजस्विनो साई महादेवा, सद्गुरु साई महादेवा, मंगल हारति अंदुको, मंगल हारति अंदुको, मंगल गिरिधारी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण, नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण, नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण, नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण, नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा ओम शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा